Hello everyone, welcome to the Late Bringers podcast. I hope you are very well and you're having a good time and no one is talking in the background distracting me whatsoever, as it's always very, very quiet in my ears until I bring their microphones up and you will hear their wonderful voices, as we are going to be talking about the elite specializations today that have been fully revealed via Twitch and the Guild Wars 2 channel from Cal and Taylor from ArenaNet. And I hate every single one of these people in the podcast who can now be heard now.
Oh,
wait.
Guys, I haven't spoken all day. Let me just warm it up.
It's so nice to hear your voice for the first time.
I know,
time to
yeah.
hydrate.
Thank you. I was really nervous. Didn't know how it would like sound, but here we are.
Gorgeous.
You sound lovely.
Oh, don't make me cry.
Yeah,
too
please
early
don't.
for this.
No crying today. Not yet.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the Luminary,
Maybe
I'll start
soon.
crying. Hey.
I was going to say, maybe wait for the elite specializations first.
Yeah.
If that's how you feel. Shots fired.
I have a question about the Luminary. Why is the symbol for
Okay,
it
we
a shield?
really aren't doing that yet. That is not yet. Like, give
Hold your
us
horses,
a
Boots.
sec, mate.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. I hope
Love
everyone's
the
good in chat.
energy.
If you're watching live, hello, welcome. And everyone else who's watching not live on YouTube, Spotify, all the things. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're good. It's 12 p.m. ish on the Pacific on a Sunday, which is when the podcast is. We haven't had a show for a little bit. I've been away and also sick. But we're back talking about the things. And there's a lot
I
of
have a
things
question
to
for
talk
you.
about. You don't.
When you were away,
Wait, yeah.
were you
yeah.
sick at the same time as you were away?
Oh, was I sick when I went on my vacation?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I wasn't.
okay.
I was not contagious. No.
Yeah, I was.
I
worried
still
about
had a
that for
cough,
second.
which is annoying. I just walked around in a mask and I just took a lot of cough syrup and stuff, which was fine. I had energy, which is nice. Gotta have energy, you know, for things that you do on your holidays. Anyway. We've got Boots, we've got Angle, we've got Fornax and Croof, and you can find all their information in the description below. We are going to do intros and outros at the end. If you don't know who they are, I don't know where you've been, but you can follow all their bits and bobs in the below. Boots does adventures and is also Canadian. Angle does Curse cosplays
There's
and
more
also
to me than that.
is in a state that loves cheese. Fornax is a British person who has an epic voice and does great video content on YouTube that is also a red flag for most people. And Croof is here. So,
That's all I needed.
Wow.
Croof is a legend.
No. Don't say anything else. Keep it at that. Let's keep it pushing.
I like
Go
that
follow
intro.
Griff.
We need to do this every week.
On Twitch and is a fashion guru in the world, and also follow. They're doing a lot of videos right now. Go and follow their stuff.
about
All the
me?
people. Yeah.
What about you, Jeb, bro? What's your intro?
Oh
Yeah.
I'm here hosting the podcast, or attempting to.
Everyone needs a good host.
It's true. Go and check us out on youtube.com/JebberUni. You can find all YouTube videos there. Twitch.tv/JebberUni on Sunday for 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 7 p.m. GMT. And also check us out on Spotify and all the things. You can Google or Bing if you want to. The Lightbringers GW2 podcast. You'll find us in most places, but not on OnlyFans. Only knees though.
Yet.
Yet.
Word yet.
I wonder
Hey.
if I should do that. No, not myself,
Only
but like for the
knees?
podcast there.
What?
I think there's no
Oh.
point because it's banned in China now, so
Oh,
Oh,
that's
is it?
unfortunate.
no.
Damn.
I do have an Only Knees link in the channel. Come on. Because we showed my knee off one day and people lost their stuff. They donated so much money. Anyway.
Was
Can
the
we-
days
can we see
before or
your knee?
after the knee was shown?
The donations were after.
Ah, okay.
So
And
maybe
why-
I need to put knee content into more of my streams.
Into your
it sounds
rotation.
like.
Yeah,
Can we-
Cursed
can you
knee
give us a taste?
cosplay is in your future, I think.
Just a giant knee.
Yeah, just
Jeff,
fine.
can
You
you give us a
should
little-
do a knee cosplay of Farron.
Can you give us a little, just a little cap?
You need to pay money for that. Or as the kids say, no cap. Sorry.
No cap, fam. We're Sigma Aura Maxing today, y'all.
No skibbity toilets going on down here in this
Dead ass.
place.
Dead
Dead ass indeed, yes. The asses are dead.
We're just out here standing on business, standing on these specs.
There's so
so-
many dead asses.
Radical.
I still don't know about that one that much. I'm not really convinced about that one. Anyway, I have to ask my clients.
Just let
about
me
that.
Google aura maxing. Let me just give me a second.
All right,
Aura
Max.
Maxing. You don't have to Google
Aura
it. You just play Tempest.
Aura, yeah.
It's better.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Are you okay
They
now?
really should have a trait called Aura Maxing.
No, they shouldn't.
Probably.
They should.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't
I
do
think that would be
please.
really fun.
I've got teenagers and my clients, and they like all of the language and stuff. I've had to like
You have to learn it all, don't you?
learn, and it is literally like learning another language. I feel like if I had Duolingo or something, you'd have like Gen Z
I'm gonna
language.
be
Could you
honest.
imagine?
I feel like
Hilarious.
the new slang throughout like history has always been, a little bit difficult to understand at first, but in context, it's pretty straightforward. Even if it's like really weird, it's pretty easy to
Yeah.
pick it up.
Wait, what is
Yeah.
slang
Slang
in general?
sometimes.
Slang. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
skibbity toilet's a little weird.
That's like brain rot that kind of just infiltrated normal speech, I guess.
Yeah, like I don't think I could infer what that means. Just
No.
at face value.
But like no cap, Aura Maxing, it's like
That's easy enough.
it's like
What?
there's just maybe one piece of the puzzle that's missing, but as soon as someone mentions it, you're like, okay, I see it.
Cool. So let's go from talking about things which nobody cares about to things that we all care about. I know we do care about it. It's fun. We're
I'm
going to
pretty
go.
sure that someone probably has a PhD in it and has a dissertation that they wrote about it. So probably somebody cares.
Absolutely. Hopefully
Somebody out
we
here.
can find that and and remove it from the internet. And
That dissertation's probably wild.
Yeah.
it's probably skipping
Okay,
the toilet.
yes, let's continue back to Guild Wars 2.
Yeah. So we're going to go through. We are going to endeavor because, and actually, Engel did not get a choice in this because they were late. So only by a couple of minutes. So I'm not like emphasizing your lateness here. I'm just saying that we said we're going to try and go through all of them in one
you're
flipping
mad at your vote.
podcast, which, we've only got 2 months until the expansion comes out. So we could spread it over the course of the time because I don't know if they're going to bring out lots of stuff.
Okay, so let's
but-
just do one today then.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
2 hours.
2 hours about the
One.
Luminary.
I mean, we could do just in the batches of 3, but it's like we got all the content. We got
Yeah,
all
that's
the
the thing. Kind of missed some shows, so I'm like, it's okay. We're gonna try. We're gonna endeavor 15 to 20 minutes max per one.
And you know what?
We-
And if-
Also to consider, we have the beta next
Right, and we're gonna have
Yeah.
to
like a
talk
week
about
and a
that.
oh yeah, we do
Yeah.
have the beta.
So
We're gonna play them
we're-
during the stream as well.
we will still be talking about these elite
Wait,
specializations.
Is it
so
gonna
it's
be
kind of
on
like
a Sunday still? It's gonna be on Sunday.
maybe on
isn't it?
a
They extended it.
Wednesday?
It's a
Tuesday?
week, right? The 20,
Yeah.
It's gonna be a week.
20 through the
We
27th.
we can have a show on that Sunday. Oh no! Wait a minute. Is that Sunday when the party is?
Uh-oh,
When
the
PAX
party.
is?
No. Well,
Is it on the 18th?
It's the
19th.
The beta starts
No.
the 20th through the 27th.
It's my
Don't-
Oh,
party
okay,
and
good.
cry
Good.
if I
It's the
want
week before PAX. Because on that Sunday, I'm going flipping PAX.
I never called PAX a
So-
party.
What?
PAX is a party, you're right.
No, PAX, they have an arena net party. Normally.
I thought
on
Normally.
the Friday. Yeah.
it's a party and a petri dish. Yay for vectors.
Oh, yeah.
Are you feeling well now? You won't be by the end of it.
Xbox.
Just saying. Yeah.
It's funny that the PAX box was a thing before COVID. It was like a very large thing that every time PAX happened, everybody got sick.
Yeah, it's a regular thing. I'm not used to be like, make sure I've got sick time. So, but when I go to a con, but like nowadays, it's actually, I never get it at cons. It's mostly from my clients because kids are going to school and I'm like, thanks for coming in, coughing your guts out all over my session just towards the end, and I didn't know you were sick. I love you all.
You should discourage them for licking doorknobs and things. That might help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't do that. That's terrible. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in order of Elite Specializations, which were announced. They had a wonderful Guild Wars 2 stream every week recently when they revealed free. They had Cal, CMC Cohen, and Taylor Trigg Brooks. And if you are listening to this, we are going to have some footage in the background, which we're going to I will try and find bits that we're talking about. Sometimes it's also something for you to watch as we, other than our wonderful faces.
What's behind Cal?
Blur.
Is that something draped
It's
over
just a
something?
blur. It's actually Blur from Mesmer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's just that. Cal permanently has that
Distortion.
ability, just like in the background. Yeah. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about actually what was first. It was Thief and it was Antiquary.
Wait a second. There's a stream before that.
Oh wait, sorry, it was.
It was Troubadour.
I was like gonna say.
Oh yeah,
it's the
sorry, I just
Mesmer.
went to the wrong video. My bad. Changing, going back in time.
I was like, well, Jebro?
Yeah, that's
not-
bad.
Well, Ellen, that's not correct.
Has
We did it in
45
less than
minutes
15
passed
minutes per
already?
spec, so that's cool. I don't know why I went to that video. I had everything queued up, even in my tabs. I was so well prepared.
Were you well prepared?
Yeah, I am pretty well prepared. I spent
I
there's
don't
like
know.
3 pages of
You
notes for this
asked
stream.
Ellen.
But improperly.
You really
prepared.
struggled through that intro. We were perfectly quiet, so
Yeah.
I don't
It was
know
weird
what you
that
were
brought up
hearing.
Talking when none of us were talking.
In
on
the future,
intro.
I'm just going to invite Fornax on the stream, on the podcast. That's it. Fornax is just the
Fornax is on her
perfect
best
guest.
behavior.
Just a heart. I love it. That was good. Well done. Fornax is always comes in like isn't always talking, but when they talk, it's always like boom. Excellent.
The rest of you can
Surgical
leave now. It's
precision.
fine. It's like,
Yeah, we'll just let Fornax talk. It's just
not this stream, mate. Holy fuck. No. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Oh. So,
so-
the Troubadour
If
guy.
I laugh, I cough more. So this is why I keep coughing. I'm like, my cough was getting better, and I realized that I always have so much fun on these things. And then, so my cough is really bad today because of all of you. So stop making me laugh, goddammit.
Yeah, you're
One of
gonna
the
have to use
greatest
those vocal
things-
cords.
Mhm.
One of the greatest things about the Troubadour stream, I
Yeah.
think we could all agree, is when Cal called it a bard.
Oh,
Yes.
did he? Oh, I didn't even notice
Yeah.
that. That's funny. I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
I called it a
He like
bard.
caught himself and was like, "Oh,
Yeah, because they
He's
know
like, oh, wait.
they
Oh,
know
really?
they're not supposed to, and I think that's probably why it's called Troubadours, because there's a reason why it's not called bard. I think, and I think it might be a legal reason.
Is
No,
it, does
I'm
someone
pretty
have,
sure I
like,
know why.
copyright
I'm
I mean,
pretty
it's
sure I
very
know
possible that
why
Wizards of the
it's-
Coast has some sort of copyright over it.
I think
over
that,
the title bard?
No, they don't. They don't.
But yeah, they
don't.
might.
The bard exists
Bard is just
in
so
many
general.
games.
Yeah.
The reason why it's
Yeah.
not a bard is because the weapon isn't an instrument. That's why it's not a
But
bard.
There's just
I
no
don't
weapon.
think.
no
I mean,
weapon.
all the
That's what I
shadows
mean.
are instruments.
That's what I mean.
And they used 4 instruments.
And they
I do,
also
but they're
said
not
that
their weapon.
I think that this might just be a case of ArenaNet trying to be different
Of
because
course.
they did mention why Trigg explained why he called it a bard because internally as they're developing it they have specific names for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
internally they were working with bard and they just decided to not go with that. I'm guessing they wanted something more
Yeah.
bespoke to the Guild Wars universe.
I don't know if it's about ArenaNet wanting to be different so much as possibly the Troubadour being different from what a generic bard usually is in other media. So someone coming into the game expecting exactly what a bard's supposed to be might be disappointed in what they get in Troubadour.
Mhm. Fair.
But it's so
As a
similar.
side question, would you have looked at the list of names of the current like elite specializations coming in and then seen Bard thrown in the mix? And would that have fit stylistically? So I'm not sure that it would have
Yeah.
as like a
Yeah.
I
whole
don't
group
think so.
overall.
I don't think Bard is the right word for this class. That's why I
Yeah,
think
Bard-
they didn't use
Bard
it.
is very general. Troubadour is extremely specific, which elite specializations are like, it's in the name, they're specializing into something. So
Yeah.
I see why they didn't go with Bard, but I think colloquially we will probably just be calling it the Bard.
I
Troubadour is a
honestly don't
mouthful.
care. Let's just get into it.
Or Trudy.
I don't care about the names.
I need to make a
at all.
troubadour named Trudy. Trudy the Trube.
I'm still not sure about. Anyway, so Bard. Wow, geez,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep calling it Bard now. Aren't I?
Troubadour.
Troubadour, Truby, good old Truby, Troubadour. Keep calling it that. Not forget. So, everyone on the stream, if you don't know what's going on, they basically previewed all the abilities, all of the stuff from each elite specialization, which is the F1 to F5 skills, as well as utilities, an elite and a heal, and the traits. So don't forget that weapons are not tied to these specifically, that there may be weapons that are quite handy for some of these, which is something we might think about in future, or even just when we're actually doing a live stream of all the gameplay. But Troubadour was a very interesting one, I think, and there's definitely something about this. I think this is one of my favorites personally, and I think at first I was not sold. But I actually feel like there's a lot of synergy and thought between the traits, the utilities, and the instruments, and also tying into the lore and what kind of a quote-unquote bard troubadour would be in terms of talking about legends and stories and stuff like that. For me, this was a very kind of overall, everything felt kind of together. Like it suits the class. I think the only what did they say? Something I can't remember if there was something. Oh no, this was on Rev. I'll talk about that later. They said they matched something together with a legend for Revenant because it was pink or purple or something, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. It was different. So Rev is a thing where I'm like, I'm not sure about that one. But
I have
yeah,
a
this was
question.
wonderful. What are some initial thoughts about this when you saw it, when you were watching the live stream? What did you enjoy? What did you not enjoy?
I think this one, like a lot of them, actually, it was at first listening to how it worked. I was like, "Oh, that's not how I expected it to work,"
Right.
and it seems a little bit too straightforward. But then, as they went along, introducing the utility skills and then talking about the traits, it started to come together a little bit more, adding a little more interest to the class.
Do
Like
you
I
have
think,
like a what was what's a good example for you that made it feel like it was a bit more together?
like when they first, I think with the utility skills, they change depending on the instrument, or
Yeah.
you get you get. I mean,
Bonuses.
the
Two
additional
different
bonuses.
passives. Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the
So I thought that was kind of cool.
performance, it's called, isn't it? It's called performance, I believe. When you
Yeah.
use a utility, sorry, if you use when you're using a instrument and then you use the corresponding utility, it's a performance and you get the additional buffs, right? Or is it the other way around?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
No, yeah. The utility skills have their own base effects, but they all
Mhm.
have corresponding instruments. If that instrument is up,
Yes.
you get a little bit more out of that skill.
And this is a theme for most of the elite specializations, right? This is like if you use
There's
a
a
F1
lot.
skill, then a utility gets empowered by this, right? As an example.
I think maybe because they don't have a weapon,
Yeah.
they really leaned into connecting not just the traits with the profession mechanics, but also the utility skills, which I thought was
Mm.
pretty cool this time around.
Yeah, and I think they did that with a lot of the professions, with all the
Yeah.
effects.
Mhm.
One thing I didn't know about this, and I think I still don't know because I haven't looked into it enough or listened to this in depth, is how do phantasms and illusions play into the Troubadour Shatters?
They will not transform into they'll do their effect, but they won't transform into clones. They're just going to transform into the notes. So as a troubadour, you don't have any
okay.
access to physical clones anymore.
Okay, so depending on how many notes you have, it's how strong your instrument plays as.
It's how long the buff lasts on you. So the
Yeah,
more
that's
notes
the
you
notes,
have,
yeah.
the
Okay.
longer the instrument will be
Which
with
mean,
you.
yeah, so the more likely you are to get the benefits of the instrument
Yeah.
being with you for other things.
Mm.
Yeah, you have more
Cool.
time to hit those things.
Okay, that makes sense.
Engel or Fornax, any thoughts on and how are you feeling about this elite spec or troubadour? How it was looking, the theme of it, the lore behind it, Fornax and Engel.
I just on the notes thing. This is the only thing that really drives me crazy about this class, is because you earn like 2 notes, I believe, in each section, but they're not the same time. Like they're not the same amount if you add like 2 quarter notes together versus 2 like. I was just like, oh my gosh.
The representation
and also
isn't quite there, is it?
You
I
mean
think.
okay, yeah.
it's gonna drive me nuts.
If you
But
are a music major, look away.
Yeah, this
yes,
is what done
the
me
other
in.
thing is it is the Guild Wars 2 theme, the ba da 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 da.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I didn't even
Yeah,
notice
nothing.
that.
They don't
What?
finish the last note.
Oh no!
It doesn't have that.
That means that's for
What
the
is that?
crescendo.
Do they do it for the
Refrain?
crescendo?
Yeah.
They should. I mean,
So
that's a good idea.
I like the ideas behind it, but I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna bug me as a pet peeve.
no.
But I think it's really
Would
cool.
you have been happier if it wasn't so obviously the da da they count as 1 note even though it's 2 notes, and then da da and then da da is also 1 note. Would you be happier if it was all like you had 6 notes to build up instead, or 7 notes if you want
I
to do
don't
the
know if it
full-
would actually
like
be.
I would do 7 notes with the last one being worth 2. So then you'd have the ba da da as the first one, da da da, the second one, and then third one.
Yeah.
But
Solid idea.
yeah, maybe that is something I'm gonna write a little note
Yeah,
in my
right on
beta feedback.
I mean, I would. It sounds actually a solid idea, and that's a really good suggestion. Yeah, absolutely.
But on a different note, I love the idea of the crescendo and getting out the baton. That was not something I was expecting. You kind of can combine your instruments together and create barrier or different effects based on what you have out behind you. So I thought that was a cool idea. I'm excited to try it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, for me, they seem to be riffing on the original Elementalist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but so the alley originally didn't have a huge amount of weaponry, and it was basically all in your F skills, depending on which element you're using actually affected some of the skills and utilities that you had, and it feels like they're kind of leaning into that quite heavily for this. I don't know. I mean, I'm always really looking, because I play for the story. I'm like a fan of the 1 button builds, and it always terrifies me how complex they make them. And that's more buttons, more fun, but also more buttons, more complexity so there's kind of like a happy medium, and I'm just wondering, and if it's all buffs and it's about keeping up buffs all the time, and I've played classes like that, I kind of fear getting shoehorned into that buff bitch role that there are in raids, and so. But it's all a case of suck it and see, right? I love the visuals. I love the idea of music. And
okay, I just want to give some context for the suck it and see thing, because I don't know if Americans or anyone else in the world knows this reference other than anyone in England.
Just like Skibbity Toilet, I think.
No.
Hey.
Was it for like a cough?
Like some sort of sweet.
Like a cough
sweet.
You suck it and see.
Something like that.
Like how you make it makes you feel better. And then suck it and see was like a catchphrase, so it's not like sorry. Yeah, I just like to give context sometimes for the very cultural references that we
I've also
Cultural
had
reference,
to
not
see if it's made me
costly.
feel any better about myself, and sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But
Okay,
could've
I'll
left it at that,
rephrase. The
would've been
proof
more
of the
funny.
pudding is, the proof of the pudding. Is that more American?
Oh no, you can say
Is that-
suck and see. Everyone knows what it means now. It's
The
fine.
Okay,
The
the
proof
proof
is in
of
the
the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding.
100%.
Wow.
True,
That's a
always.
tasty treat right
yeah.
there, everyone. That's a tasty treat.
yum yum yum! 50% off. Come get it. All you can eat.
Wow. Sorry, Phonics, continue.
That escalated fast.
That's
No,
your fault
that's-
as well. So.
I have no more words to say now. You
That
carry
is
on.
all
I have
your
no more
fault.
words to say. Uh,
Escalation is part of the podcast, actually. That's why people pay us so
True.
much money. Me.
we're getting
money.
paid.
Well, sorry. You've
This
got
is me.
hey, you've got an affiliate link in the description, right?
That's fair. That is true.
Make sure you use that,
he's-
by the way.
he's
Everyone's
paying
got
you
an
an
affiliate link
exposure.
for the expansion. Go use that. It's in the description. Everyone here has one, as well as the links and all the things. Fornex, continue. Sorry.
No, well, we're honestly done. All done. Red flag over.
What about
Go.
the
It's
what about
done.
the utilities?
So I would say
Fornex?
look, we should look at the traits because just looking at the Fs and the utility skills, it still feels a little limited.
There is one thing about the utility skill that is definitely noteworthy, and that is the distortion share on the elite skill.
Yes.
Because
Oh my
this is a mechanic that is coming back that was axed from the game a while
That was
ago.
on-
because it
sorry,
was
it's on the elite
strong.
skill and
Because
not
of
on like a
that
trait or anything.
flipping
Ooh.
boss.
Yeah, it's on the elite. It's the tail of
And
the
how long's the
Augustine.
distortion?
Like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Mm.
Though
That's
the
not fair.
actual cooldown is only like 75 seconds, and you have
But
alacrity on this build.
They did
Yeah.
say, Kroof, right, like during the stream that they are going to watch this like a hawk. Because
Yeah.
they're very
I
aware of how it could potentially
I
get
think-
out of hand.
Because of how strong this ability is, I think baseline, even for the beta, they probably should up the cooldown to 90 seconds, considering that you have access to alacrity on this. So that's
Mhm.
going to, reduce the cooldown by 25% in total. It's just a really
Good
strong
point.
effect. And I like that they are brave enough to try it out again. I think that in this batch of elite specializations, and in general for all elite specs, I want them to play into class fantasy. I want them to play into certain like cool niches that aren't like readily accessible across like everyone's professions, just to give that little bit of flair. But it is coming to Mesmer again, and Mesmer is historically the class that gets all of the unique elements to it. So if distortion does land, I would also like to see some more unique buffs for other professions.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Have they talked about the differences between PvP and PvE in these builds yet?
They have a little bit.
I think they just
not
said
not like
this
in
would-
great detail.
Yeah, no, they've just
No.
said like in PvP this might be good for X, or in PvE I think.
But they've also
Taylor-
said that anytime they mention quickness or alacrity as things in these elite specs, they've said in competitive modes it's a different buff.
Yeah.
Ah,
I still
Okay,
hate.
yeah.
I still hate those two buffs. I still think they're absolute dog shit. I
I feel
dislike
like
them
that is-
so hard.
We're not going to talk about that
think it's-
topic because
Well,
it's so.
not. It's a podcast in itself. You can talk about some traits in there if you want. I'm very wary about going into detail about things that are definitely probably not going to be very final. But if there are some general comments about the traits, sure.
Yeah, like if there's any concept of a trait that kind of sticks out to you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm probably one of them. I think one of these traits is converts it so that you give alacrity to all your allies, right?
I can't remember.
I think it's called Love Song. It's the master
Aw,
at the very, very bottom,
nice.
which
Oh, it's just a master.
causes your harp instrument to share out alacrity when it pulses.
Mhm.
I don't
Mm.
particularly love this type of trait. It's not as bad as what we see on other elite specializations, Paragon. But it is like a type of trait that transforms like a skill with a purpose into, I would say, being more important for its boon application rather
Yeah.
than like, straight up healing.
Mhm.
So I'm never a huge fan of those. I think there could have been another way to maybe like, mess around with it. But I do like that on Troubadour, one of your utility skills, the Almora one, actually gives alacrity baseline. So you don't even have to like trait for it.
Mhm.
So there is a subtle element that you have like a specific boon button that, because it's all that it's doing, to me, it makes sense.
Sure. One thing that I really enjoyed about this specifically, and this isn't trade based, this is more utility based, was the what do they call it? They're like, I mean, the heroes, like when they talk. I still think this is a really big, strong thing for me of like each hero's, what do we call it? What do they call them? I can't remember. The legend. Do they legends or lore? I can't remember what they're called. What they actually.
The tails.
The utilities. The tails. That's the one. Thank you. There's Aurene, there's Scarlet in there, Scarlet Briar. Like, and what is her thing? She's I wrote it down. She like they said like yeah, and they mock your foes, and she comes out and
mockery.
says,
vicious mockery. That's
so cool. Like these really cool names for these abilities, and you've got Traherne in there as well. I know, which I thought was really cool. Actually, I like that. I mean, I like Traherne. I'm not sure how people feel about Traherne. You've got Aurene as the heel. You've got is it Dougal Keane from Ghosts of Ascalon book? Is that the one? Is that right? And then you've got Almora as well, Soulkeeper Almora. So a good mix of different kind of different tales from different people, and it was just really cool. I think it fits in well with like the Troubadour Bard-esque, because that's what they do, right? They talk about. They tell tales, they sing songs about like heroes and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, that's just pretty sick. That's kind of what got me really actually with this. I really enjoy the utilities. I don't know, I actually can't remember what they do. I just really enjoyed them. I was like, I'm pretty sure that Scarlet's, as Boots said, like conditions. I think it was like was it a daze or a stun or something like that, which would make some sense. I'm not sure. Is there anything?
Troubadour is probably in general for its role is going to be more like healing support oriented.
That's right.
But I am excited to try out a damage bard, because you do have a few traits that allow you to increase your outgoing damage by like stacking buffs and stuff. So there, with all these elite specs, there's a little bit of flexibility, and I'm excited to be like rocking out with like a loot, just shredding people. Actually, one of the traits is called shredding. So.
It is. Oh, that's sick. I love that. Yeah, like because they was, I think Taylor just like would always reiterate the fact that each of the instruments represents the shatter from Mesmer, so that you still have that kind of connection to the class, like Mind Rack being the first skill, etc., etc. But like, was it the lute and the flute are the kind of damage CC kind of things, but the drum is also a big daze stun. Wait, on my notes, I can literally read my notes. Stun, yes, and then the harp is a heal. So there's actually more damage kind of coming out from, and kind of support in terms of like CC and Defiance bar breaking, I believe, as well, from like some of these instruments, which is very cool. In general, like, and we could probably wrap this one up in a way, unless anyone wants to talk about anything else. How are we feeling about this spec? How does it fit Mesmer? Does it fit Mesmer pretty well? Do you like it? Does it look fun? In terms of like the graphical representation, how do the like kind of instruments look? The kind of tails look and stuff, and the feel of it, just from the kind of look. Really,
for me, I'm not 100% all in on it. It feels, it definitely feels mesmery. It feels mesmery more than maybe it feels bardy. Even because I mean, for the animations for the instruments, they're very fast. You pull them out for just a very quick second and then put them back again.
True.
That's right. They could be a bit longer, right, for the duration of the ability or something. I don't know.
And I don't know if is the music on in the background for these things? Like, can you hear the the instruments played?
I can put the.
I think they do have like unique sound effects.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. That would be interesting if you can hear other like if there's a whole bunch of troubadours just really sound like cursed chaos.
Oh, that's true.
There is a small little Easter egg, I guess, in the game where if like a few rangers get together and they all use Call of the Wild on their war horn, they summon like a spirit.
Oh,
really?
It's off a 3-wolf moon.
Cool.
I would love if there were like 3 or 4 troubadours and they all play crescendo, that there's like some phantasmal effect that happens in the area. Just as like a small little Easter egg. This is little things that kind of make it more exciting.
Getting the band back together.
Yeah,
that is fine. that's one of those things that you forget about, and then like every 7 years, someone on Reddit in Guild Wars 2 says, "Hey, did you know you could do this?" And then everybody's like, "What the?"
It would be cool if they did like
a Lion King reference in Path of Fire.
Yeah.
if they all did crescendo and then Farron just turns up as their groupie and just parties with you or something.
Or it's like the actual minstrel. It's like the actual minstrel with like
Oh, that would be
the
sick.
concept
Yes.
art,
Yeah,
and he
that
just
would
like
be
dances
cool.
around with the lute like in the sky.
I love that.
And then kills all of the opponents.
Yeah, it's like an instant death. It's
Like
an
Odin.
instant death mechanic.
Just
That
drops
is
the
good.
minstrel finisher on the boss at the very end.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But no,
I would.
I'm like in Troubadour.
Actually, kind of like
Yeah.
that now.
I would like them to summon the Char War band.
Oh,
From,
the band,
that
the
would be
actual
so
band.
good. Yeah.
The Meadow Legion.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, like a mesmer, like it just mirages if like 3 or more are there, and it just mirages them when you do your elite or something. That would be cool.
Right. Oh my god, that's cool.
Anyone at Aina is listening. Hey, see if y'all can squeeze in a little animation.
Any more
Sure.
thoughts? Any more thoughts on the Troubadour? If you enjoyed it, if you like the graphical representation, all the things, like how we feeling?
I would say so.
Pretty
Mesmer.
sure you just told us what you're feeling.
I know.
It doesn't get to
new.
go
Like, I
back
actually
to
thought
you.
of something else.
It's not something
Someone
new.
else,
So-
maybe.
So okay, I won't say it then. Go ahead.
Oh, go on, say your thing, Boots.
Wait,
No,
Boots,
go
wait,
on.
No, Boots.
Taking
Just tell
this.
me what you want to say. Just
Tell us
just
the
whisper.
Just for
story.
proof. Just
Tell
for
us the
proof.
story.
Okay, proof.
Just
So
for proof.
so you know how with Mesmers they have their clones, right? And they're
Mhm.
out, and then they sometimes confuse their opponents because they look
Right,
like
right,
them,
right.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you don't know exactly.
Like twins.
So that's it's like an intrinsic defense for Mesmers, right?
Precisely.
Yeah,
I
and then so when when Virtuoso came, and it was being presented, I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting because they no longer have their clones, then they don't have that intrinsic defense anymore. It's gonna be easier to kill them.
Mhm,
But Virtuoso has a lot of very strong built-in other defenses at their disposal.
Yeah.
Like they have a lot of blocks and stuff like that.
That's true. Yeah.
Does the Troubadour have
It has
that?
a lot of stuns and daisies.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for telling me that. So, guys, I also have some thoughts. So, you know how the clones are really important for the Mesmer's defense?
Uh-huh, yeah.
We're not getting that anymore. No, I mean,
Proof. I
think
told you
they
that in
do.
confidence.
If
no,
they're
you told it
healing
in
spec,
confidence,
though,
but I also wanted to like participate because I feel bad that you don't get to like speak in a public way.
Okay, fine. Okay, so
Oh,
you
that's
you
nice.
say it then. You tell them.
Yeah. Okay, so any reactions to what Boots just said?
Does
I
indifference count? No.
think-
Sorry.
Yes, I think indifference is actually very important in this world.
Indifference, Yeah, it is.
I think that in PvP, that usually is only like a matter of concern.
Mm.
But I think that's kind of
Yeah.
like the way it's like the whole entire theme of Troubadour is like really group oriented and strong
Yeah,
support,
you're
especially
right. It's
distortions and all that stuff. It's like
More of a PvE spec, you think?
probably.
I don't know. I mean,
But
if you
I don't think the
don't-
clones are going to be that much of an issue because in World versus World, they immediately get killed off usually, and
True.
PvP, it's like
In
people tend to
PvP,
already.
Yeah, you already
focused on
know.
things.
Yeah, you don't like clones are like, I think they said one of the things that they were talking about with Troubadour was the fact that in World v World it's very difficult to play a Mesmer effectively because you've got clones and you rely on them so much.
That's true.
But the
yeah.
fact that you don't and you can't shatter them, so the fact that you've got these instruments and stuff, which means you can move while you're using them, like you don't have to think about your clones so much, right? That you're just using these things on the move and you're a bit more
Yeah, you're like a normal character.
yeah. So you've got that, and if you go through the utilities, there is a lot of protection. There's resistance. There's healing. There's a lot
of healing. That's true.
Stun and dazing is kind of wild on this spec, honestly.
Yeah.
And remember, you've got that 2-second distortion. And with all the other things, that's distortion, stun, daze, a bit of damage, some confusion, all of those things in an elite on that 75-second cooldown. So you've got a lot.
you're right. The distortion. You got the
of
distortion.
utility.
You got a good point. Forget it. You're fine.
No,
You
but
get
that's
the
why we have
distortion.
this is why we have these discussions. But it's only 2 seconds of distortion, so you're talking about general sustain over time. I think you make a good point, but there is, as you go through the utilities, the only reason I'm saying that's because I literally went through it yesterday. And I remember I remember the things, and I remember thinking, oh, this actually might be quite hard to kill, but you might be able to burst it, right? Because I don't think the heals are huge. I don't think the heal is. I don't know if I can't remember Kroof or anyone else if these heals are particularly bursty or more kind of like
No, it's more healing over
regeneration-y.
time.
Yeah. So that's going to be
It's
their
consistent
weakness.
healing rather than burst healing.
Yep, which is good, I think, because they do have a lot of stuns, etc.
Mhm. I mean, you could also
Yeah.
always use a shield now too. Like
That's
you can use any
true.
weapon you want. Yeah.
Very true. Shield and like a main hand sword or for blocking things, and then stuff. You got there's chaos armor
You're
as well.
fine. Troubadour's gonna be fine.
I'm actually really looking forward. Like personally, I'm looking. I wasn't sure. I think when they started the stream off and I was watching it, I did actually watch this because I wanted to see the Troubadour. So I did watch this and then rewatch it yesterday. But I think at the beginning I was like, oh, the instruments don't come up that much. I think I would like to see the animation. Someone said that earlier. I think the animations of instruments a bit more, just to be like, this is kind of what my class is about, or be bigger or something like that.
Like when it's playing, like when it's a phantasmal loot next to you,
Yeah.
and it's playing because it's part of your buff, whatever. Do you hear it playing?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Let me just see if I can.
Because it would be really cool if you did, and then when you have the flute going, and they all play together, and they have a song that they're playing.
Let me just put the volume up on the stream and see.
And then it's going to have an additional effect that
My one
cares
bit of
about the
feedback, and this is kind of going to be like the final thing I say about the Troubadour.
So Crescendo's effects are gonna be
For
augmented.
instruments, because the utility skills all have instrumental ties, maybe you could play those instrument animations with utility skills as well, just to have a bit more of that instrumental through line.
Sure. Yeah, that could be cool.
But I know that they're like actually like spoken word tales, so it's like
That's the
there is
bug.
that disconnect.
Yeah, but like sometimes when they would tell tales, they'd
Yeah.
like strum
Exactly.
as they're
Yeah,
like
oh, absolutely.
talking.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
not like
Not the
whipping out the
flowers.
flute every time, but
Yeah.
but if they just started it with like the lute strum and then
Yeah.
You
told
get the
their
effect.
tale,
Do the
like
utilities-
Time the casting animation of it is the instrument, and then the effect will.
Yeah,
play
yeah.
on.
yeah,
Mm.
calling everybody's attention.
Yeah.
I
I think
agree.
that
Whip
that
out your
would be a
high
nice
C on the
way.
flute, like
This
a third
is
grader
the
with a
story
recorder.
of
Flipping off recorder.
Yeah.
Scarlet.
Recorder is the first instrument
God, it's like
everyone
in
learned.
Rock Bottom and SpongeBob. I can't understand you.
Phoenix, do you have any final thoughts about the Troubadour?
There's like 2 elites that I'm interested in, and this ain't one of them. So
Oh.
sorry.
Gag it.
Wow.
Then let's roll over. Let's roll over then.
Sorry.
If no one's got any further thoughts, because I think we definitely need to shift over to probably what is Kroof's favorite elite
Oh my God.
specialization. And I might be being slightly sarcastic. The
How did you know?
I don't know actually. It's like somehow you just like immediately. You just got really creeped out when I said, like, when I say luminary sometimes. I don't know. Like,
What'd you
it's just
say?
like you revert backwards. You're like, oh, disgusted. Almost. No, sorry, that's really harsh, actually. Sorry.
What?
I actually have some different thoughts to Kroof on this. So there is going to be some. There is going to
Well,
be
one
some.
of us will be right.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
I'm
honestly, I
kidding.
think you're right. Like, one of us will be right, probably.
Yeah.
But
Yes, we have
yes.
the Guardian elite specialization, the Luminary. Now, the
Proof, tell
lore,
us.
because I think it is important to talk about, because all these elite specializations have a little bit of lore tied to them, is that the Iron and Flame Legion have gone into a joint venture to create this lantern of sacred fire. And Guardians use that to tap into the Radiant Shroud. They gain access to stances, and their virtues are all maintaining the core virtue. So the virtues have not been changed.
Yeah. It looks super duper like Baradin ghostly, old Ascalon kind of.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, I think that's a part of it, which the theme of it is kind of cool. For sure. So I think the big thing about this is the feeling about a shroud for Guardian.
Yeah. They
What are the
specifically
feelings
decided
about
to
that?
go
And they called
with
it
the
shroud.
naming
Yeah.
of
yeah.
Shroud,
Mhm,
which typically shrouds will replace your health bar. They
Mm.
require you to build up a resource to actually get into it. This time around, you can tap into the shroud really whenever you want. But the kickback from this is that when you use your 2 through 5 abilities, if you're utilizing multiple of them, you increase the cooldown of that shroud. So in a way,
If you don't use any abilities, I think the base cooldown's 5 seconds.
I think it's like 3
I thought they
3 to 5
increased. I
seconds.
thought they increased the cooldown of Shroud of more abilities you use.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
you're saying.
no, but if you just get in there and use like your auto attack, it's a fairly short window of a cooldown.
Yeah. Cool.
But I think the more you use it, the maximum it can get to is around like 20 seconds of a cooldown.
Yeah, it says 20 seconds on screen. Yeah.
It's not a shroud.
They said on the stream, and I quoted them on this, that someone said it feels closer to Photon Forge on Engineer.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me.
Even in that regard,
it's still not the same.
The thing about Photon Forge is that its mechanic is very well
Fornex,
developed.
you're furiously typing and we can hear you, sorry.
Shit.
I kind of like it. It's not that bad actually.
Oh, it's my audio processing for my ADHD. It goes nuts when things like that happen. Sorry. I can't focus on anything else.
Yeah, the heat system for Photon Forge is like a very interesting mechanic that the entire spec is basically based around. Like the entire elite spec of Hollowsmith is working with that heat mechanic, working around it and altering it in some way, like the 3 elite skills. So it makes it a very tight package, the Hollowsmith and its Photon Forge, and it's a very well designed elite spec, and I think a lot of people like it. This, in some ways, is like the Hollowsmith Photon Forge in that it's basically a weapon you equip that has a cooldown when you go out of it. But in a lot of ways, it's not developed in the same way.
No.
I think because for me, the weapons that the abilities that you're using give you more negatives than benefits, I would say. I don't really like the idea of like
actual weapons.
Yeah, I feel like with this, because each one of them is so specific already, whatever role you're doing, you're just going to focus in on that particular button and then go out of the shroud whenever you want to. So there's no real reason to use the others because you're actually getting more of a drawback by using those other abilities. If you were instead like building up a resource, very much like the Hollowsmith, you're building up radiant energy while you're in this shroud. And so then you can have things like with the traits, you gain increased certain effects at certain like shroud thresholds or whatever.
Is there nothing like that in the traits for the weapons specifically, or like to empower them?
I don't think so. I don't think there are any like the more weapons you use, the you get X improvement. It's usually
but, like the staff doesn't increase in power or anything. Like if you pick a trait, like nothing like that.
Certain traits will empower the character. One in particular, I think, is a minor, but
not the weapons. The weapon abilities you use within. Like if you use the shield, you don't get a stronger X ability or something, or you don't get. Well, I can't remember what shield does because that's a bad example. But like if you use like, is there a trait
I can't remember. There are certain things where it's like depending on the final weapon that you use. So say you use your second ability, you'll equip the hammer. If you then leave Radiant Shroud, you will gain a damage bonus. And each one of those weapons will give you a subtle different passive bonus for the final.
That even further encourages just using one skill and popping out of it.
What it looks like is that the benefit of really using this is this, because they said there were 2 new buffs, and there's Luminary's Blessing, which is reducing common damage, strike damage. So that looks like, and you actually get a heal when it expires, is what it's saying. I'm just reading what it says off the screen. So that is the encouragement, I think, the big encouragement to use that as well. I mean, there is 8 stacks of Might and Fury on the hammer, which is pretty strong, honestly. I mean, that's a pretty good amount of buffs. Boons, sorry. I actually think, and you actually grant them to nearby allies as well. I didn't know that part. So that isn't awful.
No, there are elements on this that I like. There is maybe like a path that they could go down, because this Luminary's Blessing is also something that is shared to allies around you. So you're able to fortify, like guard your allies by reducing their damage. And whenever this unique buff is either, it can either end naturally or be reapplied, you heal your allies as well. So there is like a subtle, like there's a buff here that could be further expanded upon in traits, in utility interactions. But as for what it is, it's like fairly one note at the moment. One thing about the Shroud that I actually really enjoy as an overall like true theme for a class and for maybe this elite specialization is the staff weapon has its flip over ability. It will tether to allies and redirect any of their incoming damage back to you. So you take damage on behalf of your allies, which I think is kind of a cool theme for Guardian, because in the name you're guarding your allies, and we don't really see too much of taking damage on behalf of other players. So I wouldn't mind seeing more of that on this elite specialization, and then focusing on things like self-barrier application, where you're really trying to play this game of getting as much self-barrier while reducing the amount of damage on your allies. I think that's another element of like support bruisery playstyles we haven't actually seen in Guild Wars before. And this, has a small whisper of it, but nothing strong enough for me to be like, this feels like an elite specialization.
Yeah, because there's also protection in the game.
Yeah.
Do you think that this could be what players, especially, a proper feeling tank? Do you feel like it could be that?
Absolutely. I think out of all of the Guardian specs, this is the one that has the most potential to really be that group bruiser.
Yeah.
Where you are
That's a good
applying
one.
things like barrier, you are taking damage on behalf of players, you are dealing damage to break bars and controlling the battlefield a little bit more. I just don't think they were able to fully execute it at the moment, either with the Shroud or not entirely with the stances either. Though the stances it's a lot of self buffs as well, so that's kind of where I get a little bit more of that, like, you are a fortified bruiser who can like take damage and take hits.
Yeah, because I play Guardian a lot. That's one of my main, and I do play a tanking Guardian, and I've never really felt like it. I do. God, that's crazy, isn't it? And with my nervous disposition, yeah.
Like, I will be the leader in battle.
Well, no, it's not good. But yeah, I was always when the game first came out, I was really astonished that they didn't that the Guardian wasn't like the meat shield, and I know that they brought the Trinity and all the rest of that, but it just feels like it fits with the ethos of the Guardian, and I would love for this to be that kind of tanky, spanky meat shield. That would be like paradigm for me.
Definitely.
Yes.
I honestly would love to see like a taunt on one of the stance abilities, just so you can like redirect aggro to yourself in like an open world environment. If you really want, like, you can have traits that benefit you for like taking damage, or like a unique retaliation effect when enemies hit you. I mean, we actually have that already. Like, when you take an attack and your Aegis is blocked, you will retaliate with damage with Grandmaster. So there are elements of this, but it's like, it's very, it feels like it's a blueprint of an idea. I'm not sold on the Luminary at all.
It's a blueprint because
Because it's
extra blue.
It's extra blue.
I don't know.
That's great.
I agree. I always found it really strange that you didn't have to build hate to tank. That it's just like a base stat that you can have, and it doesn't matter who it is, and there's no kind of mechanics or gameplay around having to maintain that hate, which is a real skill in the heat of the battle when you're trying to make sure. Well, it's not just that, because as a tank, it's also positioning. So you have to think about where you are, where the raid is, where the boss is facing, if there's frontal
Well, they
attacks,
never
and
sold
things
the
like
game
that.
on that premise, right? That's the thing.
True.
They started out there, so they've never really.
But they developed the game kind of in that direction. Not consistently, but they have.
They have moved more towards it for sure, because taunt is a thing. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
the fact that
That would
there
be
is
cool.
kind of a soft taunt with toughness is the fun was a fun idea that they, for some reason, that was existed.
So the thing is with this, I feel like you could get what you want in terms of a bruisery kind of guardian. So I think that's nice.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think they could tune the skills on the shroud skills to be strong enough that this will see use.
Mhm.
The thing I don't get is I'm trying to see where the fun in it is. Like where like
Yes. I think
I'm
you're
trying
right
to see,
about
like, you know what I mean? Like it could be fun. Like if you like playing Guardian, it's good, and you get 4 extra skills with it.
it's not very flat.
but-
I mean, it doesn't feel very like elite spec. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I think a lot of them are like, whoa,
I
this
never-
is cool, new things. It's kind
You
of
never
like,
want to be punished for using more abilities in a game.
Mm.
You never want to be
Mm.
punished for actually like interacting with things. And at least with a resource mechanic like a shroud, you are given a set amount of time to go wild, use your
Yeah.
abilities, adapt to a situation. But in this situation, it feels like you have to hold yourself back even more so.
I think this is going to be one that is really like this is one can be one of those elite specs where it's like you need to play it to really get it. Like it
Maybe.
doesn't
You might be right.
transfer.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It doesn't transfer. It doesn't translate well over the stream. I don't think in terms of showing it off because of it just kind of looks kind of does look a bit boring. But like that, and that's a personal. Yes. Engel, you haven't said much about this one. How are you feeling, or do you have a feeling about this?
So I'm whelmed with this one. I wouldn't say
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. Mm.
and I am a Guardian main, so I'm trying. I'm puzzled. I'm trying to figure it out. It seems like, Kroof was saying you're being punished for skills. We see that a little bit in Antiquary where you have a backfire, and I'm like, is this the attempt of like a Guardian backfire? But I can't really see
Yeah, that's
how that, how you would even have to like try to prevent. You don't really have a way to prevent it, I guess is what
Sure.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And if you want to play this elite spec, you kind of have to use those. I would think you would want to be using those skills
Yeah.
frequently. So I would agree that I think I just need to play it in order to really understand it, get it under my belt. But I don't know. I don't really have anything else to add there.
Yeah, I think
guess.
there is that feeling of like compared to the Troubadour, like there is a big difference of like excitement even on our faces. As I look at everyone's faces, I'm like, wow, this is just just the
Yeah.
reaction to it is very somber and kind of like, and I
To
don't
be
even mean in a
fair-
good way of
To be
somber.
fair, when I was thinking about when I first saw the elite spec icon, and it was a shield that looked kind of like a fortress shield,
Mhm.
and I was like thinking of what it could possibly be. I thought it was I obviously thought it was a Guardian, but what did it mean for the Guardian as an elite spec? And I really couldn't think of good ideas of new elite specs for Guardian. I
It's
was
hard.
like,
I think it's hard for Guardian.
I was like,
honestly.
Guardian's got a lot of good stuff. I'm trying to think
I
what you
still
could
think
do
they
to
should have
Guardian
just
to make
gone
it more
monk.
interesting.
I think they should have just gone monk with it. They
I'm-
should have just gone monk.
Yeah.
Just
I
go
love the
hard
monk.
into it. There's not enough from.
Yeah.
There's things from different places in the game for Guardian where it's like, oh, it's monk-esque, but it's not monk. I think they should
And we
have
got
just gone
Ritualist
for it.
and Paragon this
it
expansion
would-
as well.
It would have been
Monk
perfect.
maybe would have hit nicely for Guild
Yeah.
Wars
But
1.
you don't need to
callback.
give a new weapon for them because they don't.
No, yeah.
Right.
You can give them like a monk stance where you like have more martial.
Just
I mean,
fist
you
skills,
literally
yeah.
pick out a staff
Yeah.
and you can change all the staff skills because you've got an elite spec. Like, and that could be their thing
Yeah.
that changes. I think they can do some more stuff with changing, because I think they've basically given most classes an elite spec, which is essentially a weapon. Most of the time, it feels like they've just got another 5 skills that they add to the class in most cases, other than maybe probably engineer. But still, even on the toolbelt skills, I think in general, I think so far, I think Luminary might be one of the only elite specs which actually has utilities which are still known, like it's a stance.
No stances, yeah.
Yeah, like there's the problem I think with this elite specialization reveal I noticed a lot was the fact that they've brought in a ton of new names types for utilities, which I don't think is bad. I think like they've brought in like 5 or 6 new ones.
Yeah,
which I worry
mean, it
about.
doesn't really matter at this point, just because the only places where it matters is with like some relics that do things on.
Yeah.
And I think the stance relic isn't that really interesting anyway. Well,
True.
was it using a stance? Oh yeah, there's one that cleanses conditions on you if you use a stance, and one that deals increased strike damage for duration. So those are actually not so bad.
Okay.
Not so bad. But it's kind of one of those things where it's like, wake me up if they add new wells.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, are we feeling? Ingrid, did you have something you said? You went.
Well, just as like on a positive note, I do really like the lore about it. In as far as like a role playing, why would make a character kind of story behind it. It does feel cool to have like a charfo fire or whatever in a lantern, but I was a bit confused about the lantern, and that's I'm like, what? It follows you around, and I don't really see it utilized a whole ton in the animations. Just
no animation at all,
right? So
I think
it just
it disappears when you go into the shroud.
Yeah, that's literally what it does. Like the shroud.
Where does it go?
You become the spirit, I guess.
The light enters
someone. Yeah, you become like.
But where does it enter?
I mean,
where does
that's
it
up to you, Boots, depending on your own personal law and your personal kinks, I think.
I was actually going to talk about the lantern because it's like it's not a big thing on the spec at all, but then it's always there. I would rather this. Personally, I'm predicting that they'll probably transform this into a proper shroud where you will have a resource that you have to build. And then maybe when you have no resource, there's no flame. And then as you build more of that energy, you see the flame grow. And then when you enter shroud, it circles around you to like ignite you. I'd also like to see some more animation tied into the actual stance skills that you're using. So you kind of use that as a focus for your stance buffs that you can share out. Because also these stances are not always selfish. But yeah, if you're going to have a lantern always be with you, use it. It's like a catalyst that has a jade sphere following it, but you never, ever use it. But funnily enough, it's not following you around and you're always using a sphere.
You know what's interesting? How if you're using a torch weapon, it's very rare, but there are places in Guild Wars 2 locations that are pitch black. And you can only see if you have like a torch, or if you have like, for a while there was a glowing backpack, the book, the Mad King Thorn's book, or the Sahathan, the old, like you could get it if you played Guild Wars 1 at that time. With it, I don't think it doesn't look like it lights up the world.
We don't know. I guess we don't know.
Well, I mean, you could see, because you could see if you're looking at the video. Usually, if there's something that actually lights up the world around it, it has like a reflection on the ground.
True.
But I guess they just haven't implemented it.
I mean,
yet.
I
It
guess
would be nice, though.
yeah, you could use it in places where they don't want you to use it. I guess, but it makes sense. Like it's called luminary, like illuminate. Like it makes sense. Like that could be a kind of fun side. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but yeah, okay. Well.
I think it needs some work.
It does need a little bit more theming and
it was the only elite spec to be shown that did not have its art in for the traits. It was the only one. So I think Luminary is kind of on the later.
You know what? I feel like this was a good choice
No.
for Arena because they've been constantly being accused of favoritizing Guardians over the years.
So they just went underwhelming for them.
They made a conscious choice during the development of these elite specs that we're going to leave Guardian for last, and we're going to work on all the other ones first, and then we'll do the Guardian at the end. And then if it's underbaked for the first reveal, that's fine. We'll get better later. We'll do it later.
We can just refer players back to the Reddit post that complained about it. Sure, yeah. Sounds
Go
like
back to playing Dragon Hunter, you know.
Don't burn me.
I really like Dragon Hunter.
Sorry.
I love Dragon
I
Hunter.
had to get in my mouth a little bit there.
And PvP is fun as hell because it's really easy.
I went back to
It's like
Dragon
just
Hunter.
so simple to play.
Trap build.
But speaking
Exactly.
of Hunter,
Yeah, here we go. We are going
might
to
be
go
a
over
perfect
to
segue.
already there. Gale shot indeed.
Yeah. So
Um,
going into this,
yeah.
I did not know what to expect just from the icon and just the idea of Ranger being more bow-like, having more bows to it. I was just like, okay, that sounds fine. But looking at the reveal, looking at the game, it looks great. It looks really good.
Well, they said something which I felt was very, very true about when you see the trailer for Ranger, like in the core game, and when you think about what a Ranger is, you think about it being something like an archer. Like they were talking about this. They were talking about there's an idea that this is an archer and it's going to be a ranged thing and it's going to have this kind of, you know, running around mobile sense of play. And a lot of the play for Ranger is actually kind of mid-range melee as well. Especially with like, you know, spirits, and you think about, you know, druid, etc., and the support and whatnot. And I think that they wanted to really bring that back for them, basically, and that this bow is the answer to that in a way. But I think when this came out and they started talking about the Tengu, I was like, Kruth is probably creaming themselves about this.
Absolutely.
I was just like,
Welcome to the ice cream factory. And a soft serve McDonald's machine.
You know, talking about the magic and the wind and all this kind of stuff. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like, Chris gonna love it. So,
Oh, and I did.
yeah.
But the funny thing is that I loved it even before we got to the live stream. Like in the trailer.
Yeah.
When they just showed off the trailer, a lot of the community was like, oh, this is awful. This is terrible. This is so boring. It's just
yeah.
Bladesworn. And I was responding in my comments. I was like, y'all don't
Bladesworn.
understand. Y'all don't see the vision. You don't see the vision that I see in my mind's eye. Open oneself up. So
Think about someone mentions World versus World right now. Yes, there are a lot of pew pew rangers roaming around in World versus World that are really annoying to deal with.
They don't have that many ranged weapons. They only have but longbow and stuff.
All they need is one longbow, and then they swap to another longbow.
The thing is, I think they were saying like it's in World v World and maybe in a bit of PvP, but otherwise in PvE, people are using it to like level, and that's about it. Axe isn't long range; it's mid range at best.
Yeah. What about shortbow?
Shortbow is short range. It's literally called a shortbow.
And Condi focused as well.
Yeah.
Nevertheless,
this
Gale
is
shot.
going to be the Gale shot. The pew pew rangers are eating is what's going on. They're very happy right now.
They're satiated.
Mhm.
They're full. We're
So
going
what-
back for seconds.
So the abilities are it's just like there is a defined, so with this and with Engineer as an example as well, I think these were very much like well packaged kind of, you know what your role is probably going to be. Like I think Engineer is a little bit more nuanced than this, but it's damage. Like it's damage. This is what this spec is. It's focused on mostly power, as far as I can see. I think there's a cripple in
Entirely
there.
power.
Yeah,
entirely.
there's no condition really other than like some just like cripples
And you know what?
and stuff.
I really respect
Vulnerability.
when they make elite specializations that kind of focus in on one thing. And I think with damage, it often goes over very well because people love to play damage classes. But even with something like the Druid, I really loved that they just kind of 10 toes down. We're going to make one spec that really focuses in on one role, in one theme. And they did it again with the Gale shot. Aside from Druid being healing, this is now damage focused.
Mhm.
The bow in and of itself, I think it feels fairly distinct from the actual longbow, which is nice to see. It feels a little bit faster as well.
Yeah,
And not
absolutely.
so much just like you do have the rapid fire on the longbow too, but all of its other abilities for longbow are fairly
Slow.
like utility focused and a bit slower cast
And a bit
speeds.
more like aimed kind of thing. Like, you know, when you've got the is it the stealth shot on the vertical? Have they still got that, or is that shortbow?
Yeah, the stealth shot.
Yeah,
My
like
least
that's
favorite
more
ability.
like it's longer and like there's, you know, there is. You're right. Sorry, continue.
This one, it just feels much more fast paced, taking a lot of the themes of the wind and speed. You're going to be like very mobile in general. A lot of the through line with the traits is like you gain increased power while you have swiftness and super speed on yourself. And you get a lot of applications of this throughout the utility skills and also the traits. You also get access to quickness as well. So you have a lot of very fast firing, highly mobile abilities.
Also a trait I think also increases the projectile speeds.
Oh, is it?
Is that?
so.
I think that used to be Core Ranger, right? Lead the
Yeah, but
wind.
I think they may have added one onto here. I forget. I think I remember them talking about it. I might be wrong though.
They might have. Oh, I can
Trying- if
briefly.
someone
look
find,
up.
I mean, they've definitely got to be. There's going to be screenshots of that.
The traits are simple, thankfully.
Good.
But yeah, no, it definitely seems like not fan service. What's a good word for this? It's like delivering on something that Rangers wanted.
It's very well themed. I think it's well themed and just so it meets a need, is what you're saying, maybe?
I don't think it meets a need. I think it just
But
meets
for players, sorry.
it
terms
meets
of
a
the theme
meets a
of the-
want. It meets
It's-
a want more than a
it's
need.
thematically
A desire.
strong.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this one is extremely thematically strong. It gives you a different flavor of playing Ranger while still
Sure.
feeling very Ranger.
Engel and Fornax, any thoughts on this? This one?
This one I'm kind of taking in. I did not have time to actually
Sure.
totally review Gale Shot,
okay.
so I'm listening
enough.
to you
It's
this
okay.
time.
There's a little bit of stuff on the document. I didn't write a lot about Ranger, honestly, because I feel it was
So
like
yeah,
kind of-
does anybody want to give an overview what it does? It's basically you get just like the Luminary.
Um,
You get-
Even better than Luminary. So essentially,
I don't
as
know
a
about that.
TLDR breakdown of the Gale Shot, you still maintain access to both of your weapons, so you can weapon swap.
Mhm.
But you always have this F5 bow that you can summon at any time. I don't even think it has a cooldown. It might
but it
not.
does have arrows.
It's the
you do
feathers
have-
for your resource, that determine
Yes.
how much you can use it for
Gotcha.
sure. And the
You
weapon
have a
skills do
resource.
have cooldowns as well.
But you can stand it in auto attack. The auto attack does not use any ammunition. So your various abilities, your second ability is like a burst fire. Your third ability is an evasion back while also striking. Your fourth attack for the bow is a volley of arrows, so an AoE attack. And then your fifth one is like your very grand, hard-hitting sniping shot that does AoE damage.
That's cool.
While you're using these abilities, you're also building a buff on yourself. I think that point of feedback, this buff should have a unique
What's the buff called?
counter. I think it's just called arrows or something, or feathers. You build up feathers.
Right.
And then when you reach the maximum stack of feathers, your auto attack becomes a unique skill called Hawkeye. And this is like the big burst damage in a huge area as well.
hmm
It's like 1200 range. No, it's 1500 range, but it's also AoE. So the person you're targeting, you can hit 1500 range. And then it also hits everyone else in a 480 radius around that target. So it's an extremely versatile, extremely forgiving effect. I just think visually, I don't think it fits as a buff. I think it should just have like actual feather icons above your F5 so you can more appropriately track it. So that's like the biggest thing on the Gale Shot is like its new weapon. But it
And
also
then
gets
its
access to
cantrips are
squalls.
basically- Yeah, the squalls are basically cantrips that do damage. You just more damage from the utility skills. A lot of them anyway.
Yeah, a good amount. So you have a very basic, you conjure wind bullets with piercing gales, but they have a lot of interest
Telekinesis.
with one of the abilities is I think called, or two, Mistral, where you create a curtain of air, and then that means any projectiles you shoot through. I have a siren going by, so I'm sorry if you hear that in the
That's okay.
background.
I think that's one in every single podcast you're on, Chris.
Yes,
if you worry
probably.
about that. I think it'd be weird if there wasn't some kind of alerts in the background for you.
I love this ability because it takes the idea of a combo field, but like solidifies it even more. You create a curtain of air, and that means any projectiles you shoot through, or throwing axes, it does more damage
It's a
and will
standard
chill
wall,
enemies.
right? Like it's a standard
it's just
field.
like a wall.
Yeah, like
So you can
mm.
place this at certain areas. You can really like focus in on your positioning.
Yeah.
I really like it. They have this ability
It's kind of
called
like a combo
Whirlwind.
field.
Oh yeah, it's like a much more
It's like any wall that you
precise
can
combat
produce
field.
in Guild Wars
Yeah,
2. You
it-
shoot a projectile through it, it creates an effect. Like that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
yeah,
standard Guild
yeah.
Wars 2 thing.
Okay.
But
This
it-
one is
it
just guaranteed.
Yeah, it reflects
Mhm.
back. I think with
Kinda like
this
that
spec, it
Guardian
reflects
pistol.
back to the core selling point of Guild Wars 2, where they really sold these walls that you fire projectiles through. And it's like almost like they're trying to give you this idea of what a ranger is, and to like new players and the core player base. And so I think it really calls back in that way to,
Sure.
you know,
yeah.
maybe the
does
original.
it work for your allies as well?
would
I
assume-
don't think.
I don't know. That's good. Well, then it doesn't.
No,
work in
actually,
the
no.
same
It is.
way.
It is all of them. It is all of
Oh,
them.
cool. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
I would have been conservative and not had it affect allies. 'cause
No, no,
took
no,
it
no,
into the
no.
right
We're gonna
hand.
have,
I think that
you
would
think
be
we're gonna have
weird.
like raids with 5 of these guys coordinating when they drop their?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, you all
That would be
stack them in a
fun.
line, and it's
Either
just like
stack them in a line. Well, my guess is
Yeah,
that
that'd be
they
fun.
don't- it doesn't continue. Like if you stack them in a line, I'm guessing that you don't get extra ones. So
No,
I'm
Probably
thinking
not.
So.
They just go off. They say wall 1, and then it goes down, and then wall 2
Yeah.
goes down, and yeah, to just.
That's nice.
have
I
a
like
fun.
that.
It's
Like that.
bad.
No one does that at all. Like, never. Those walls have never really been used like that, other than in World v World for Mesmer, for the stealth wall.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, people use their walls quite often for that. You know, stealth plays often. All
You know
the
what I
time,
find
actually.
very interesting? The fact that, in a lot of ways,
Hmm.
Gale Shot and Luminary are similar in what they deliver
Use your words
to the
carefully.
player, but there's a huge difference in reaction to them, possibly because they both like fill. Well, I think the Gale Shot fills an archetype that we wanted.
Hmm.
Luminary fills a niche that some people want. And they both, give you a new weapon. Basically, that's a kit that you could go into that has some mechanics around it. They're very similar in design in some ways, but in other ways, they're very different.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I guess in a
It
way,
could-
Guardian
a lot of
calls
it,
on magic.
I mean, a lot of it could be in the animations of the Gale Shot are all really cool looking. One of the things
They're
about
wicked.
it, like it looks fun to play just from the animations,
Oh yeah,
and also all the damage numbers. It's amazing. It's great.
yeah. It's impactful,
so,
right?
yeah.
When you saw this presentation of this elite spec, it was impactful, like literally as it should be. Whereas like with Luminary, it was like it sounded like they forgot to put the top of a drum on and they just accidentally hit the side or something. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit like that. I think this possibly could be one of my favorites actually, and that's odd for me to say that for Ranger. I think because I really
I
love
might actually
Druid.
play Ranger.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a big uptake in Ranger for sure.
Definitely.
It's gonna be fun in like. Well, I feel that'd be an interesting world. That's for sure. Fornax, have you got any thoughts and feelings about this?
This one is one of the ones that I was looking forward to be honest.
Yeah, cool.
I think thematically, this is what I thought I was kind of signing up for to be a ranger. I feel like I like the druid. I've played the druid in raids. It's a fun thing, but for me, it's that kind of Aragon kind of the ranger general, bow master, that kind of fantasy feel to it, and I think that's kind of leaning heavily into that. Not saying that that's the only type of ranger you can have, obviously, but that in my head, that kind of Tolkien-esque bowmaster is where it's at. And I feel like, especially with the lore that they're angling it into the Tengu, which is why you've got the wind walls and that kind of thing, I really like that. I do love it when they tie the specs into the lore, and they're doing that a lot more for all sorts of things, which I find makes a much more interesting, integrated, holistic world, and I really like it. And I'm gonna try it. This is one of the I have every like character profession that there is, but predominantly I play my ranger, I play my guardian, and I play my necromancer. And I'm definitely excited to try this one out. I really am. I think it looks good.
Yeah, because you were saying you like your one button kind of build. It feels like this isn't going to be just about that, but it feels like you could get away with pressing not many buttons and having a lot of fun on this, if that makes sense. That sounds it's not very technical at all, but it's one of those classes where it's just like, oh, it feels kind of nice to just press 1. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you got a elite spec like that, I'm like, that's actually pretty sick.
But the juice has to be worth the squeeze, right?
Yeah, sure.
So
sure.
I have played and will play complicated. Sorry,
Come
is
out
that
with
wrong?
these
Did I say
epic-
something bad again?
No, you
Sorry.
just said anything bad. Like, you just always come out with these flipping
We
one-liners.
do have that one
got
over
one.
across the side of the pond.
All right.
Yeah, that's quite, yeah.
But it has to be. So if I am going to learn a complicated button sequence, it has to be worth it for me. And I have to be kind of sold on all the aspects, or I'm really just my ADHD. I can't be asked. My brain will not give me any serotonin for that whatsoever if I'm not interested.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The novel and the hook.
So
yeah.
I have to be sold on it. And this kind of like ticks the boxes for me. Lore boxes, thematic kind of character fantasy, and they look like they've kind of nailed the gameplay, at least from what we can see. And I am certainly going to be rolling this one, using other people's builds. Boots, get on it. And
That's going to be a bad build, though, so...
Yeah.
the bad build.
I mean,
I'll
It's
hook
gonna
you
be
up. I'll
anti-winning
hook you up,
definition.
Pornax.
It's going to be taught by the dwarves rather than the Tengu, which is still better.
all right, everybody, you ready for Condi Gale Shot?
Condi Gale
Oh,
Shot.
God.
You're going to do one stack of bleeding every 10 minutes.
You just use one utility, and it's the mobility one. And that's
you
it.
just do sharp stones, and you're like, all right, I'm a Connie build.
I'm doing it.
There
I'm
is
doing it. I'm gonna
vulnerability
do
in
Condi Gale
there.
Shot.
There's a lot of vulnerability.
If anyone
in
can
there.
make it work, it's you, darling. Anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's
but yeah.
quickness. You know, I mean, there's quickness.
But yeah,
That's one thing about the quickness share. It's only at a 360 radius. I want that to be boosted up.
Wait, 360 is pretty big.
But when
360
you
is
have an
quite
entire
big.
spec that is revolving around you being at 1500 range,
I guess
at
so,
this
yeah, that's
point,
fair.
I'm like,
That's true.
bring it up to 600.
That's true.
Bring it up to 600. Like, just
Yeah, that's a
go
good point.
go for it. You might as well.
Yeah, well, they usually for that kind of thing, like with Deadeye, for example, they do it so that they do 360 around you and 360 around your target. So maybe
Oh,
they'll
that's
do
a good idea.
they'll do that for this.
That would be nice.
Engel, did we come to you about this one? I can't remember if we did.
Yes, and then I got the most amazing explanation about how Gale Shot works. And now
yes,
I
that's
also
right, we
want to
did.
play it, but that might just be because I'm biased and will listen to anything you guys say. So.
It just looks really fun.
It
I
looks
think.
good. It looks polished to
Yeah.
me. And that's pretty cool.
That's a good way of putting it. Okay, so I think we've kind of answered all the questions I had about this one. So let's move on to the next, if we're okay with that. And I'm just gonna
Absolutely.
flip this one. Yeah. I think,
Oh,
oh wow. I have
this
some,
next one.
Oh dearie me. I'm not sure about. I'm wondering if we're all
No,
thinking the
this
same
one's
things.
great.
Really? I
This one is
completely
one.
disagree. But let's watch it. I think there's
This'll
some
be fun to talk
interesting
about.
stuff. I'm just like, we're moving on to the FIFA Elite Specialization. This is right. This was the second stream, right?
Oh, it looks fun.
Antiquary.
Mhm.
Now,
I'm so excited for
It
this.
looks goofy as all heck, but it looks fun.
should I tell you what my immediate thought was after that I saw this yesterday? I was like, this is a bit like Blue Mage in Final Fantasy 14.
You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's just like novelty. And honestly, will I play Thief because of this? Yes. Will I play it to be any good in the game? Absolutely not.
It might. It's like I don't even know. It very likely could just be terrible for anybody who
I
plays
think it's
it.
going to be
but-
awful.
No,
I
I
think it's going to
think-
be terrible. But
I think because of the way that it's built and all the passive damage bonuses, I don't think you will be bad at this. I think you just playing it, they're like, you know what? We might not win everyone over with like the theme, so we have to make it to where you cannot mess this up.
Yeah.
I think there's too much for me with this. There's too much RNG, which is the
Really?
problem. Yeah,
You don't like. I
That's
like
why
the.
they've got
I like
the
the mini
cards as
game.
the icon. It's you gamble a lot. You gamble.
I like the mini
lot.
game in it.
I felt that way when I read the blog post. I was concerned about that, and especially with the backfiring. But the the actual stream talked me out of it, and then I was like, I don't think this is too much.
And you say-
And
you
there's also
say,
traits. All of the traits
that's
are
true.
there to
That's true.
tweak your odds.
That's true.
of
Yeah,
things.
you either get an offensive or a defensive, or you get the ability to reshuffle them, or you get access to a third one to increase your chances.
Engel, is that the reason why you kind of it changed it? Because I'm interested in why it changed your mind specifically. 'cause
Yeah,
I
there
feel
was that,
similar.
and I think my biggest concern too was like thinking about it backfiring on yourself and possibly your allies, and then the backfires turned out to be like, if they do happen, it's not the worst thing in the world, but also they're pretty avoidable. Like you can
Yeah.
see backfires about to happen, and you just
And the
some of
big
them is just
bomb-
stepping out of the way.
Yeah, the big bomb
but-
doesn't affect your allies, right?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but they like mentioned. I think they mentioned something in the blog post like that it could affect you and your allies to have something backfire. But yeah, I was talked down off of my soapbox about it.
Awesome. Well, that's
Yeah.
cool. I mean, it's nice. I mean, does anyone want to give a very brief overview of Antiquary if they feel fairly confident in this? I mean, I've got one, but like, I think Kroof, it sounds like you've maybe
Yeah,
got this.
Proof's got his down pat, I think.
Because you're pretty
No,
into it.
I've just been talking about these a lot. So
Go for it.
let's see. Antiquary I haven't had to describe too often. The Antiquary replaces your classic steel with an ability called Scrit Snatch, which summons a Scrit. You know, hey, we're just gonna move on.
I
'cause we're all
really
adults
should have
here,
thought
bro,
about
okay?
that name, everyone.
No.
Because I'm like,
It's
Scrit Snatch?
unfortunate.
Like, it's not something I really want to potentially
It's
do every single
slightly-
time. Okay.
It's slightly unfortunate, but I love it. So you
Of course
will
you do.
summon a Scrit to pilfer your enemy. And in doing so, you will get 2 artifacts that you're able to use. You can only use 2 artifacts, but I think they have about 8 artifacts in total. So there is some element of baseline RNG to this.
Yes.
You have 4 offensive and you have 4 defensive ones. Now, these are all connected to lore, so you'll get things from like forged surfboards to Tyrir exalted hammers to Cryptus turrets. You can, through your traits, as we mentioned, augment your chances and more finely tailor certain artifacts that you want to get. And then the whole purpose of their utility skills are for you to play with RNG, to play with a chance. They all have their base effects, but you're able to utilize these utility skills by proccing them while they're on cooldown. The longer the cooldown, and if it hasn't nearly completed, you have a higher chance of it backfiring. As we mentioned, the backfires ended up not being too bad. So, and actually some of the backfires still continue to do damage to your enemy. So if you're able to dodge it, you actually get a little bit more damage out of them.
Mm.
And then just to note, I really love the elite skill. You have a whole swarm of Scrit pilfering around you
That
to always
is
be using your artifacts.
Very cool. Yes.
And it becomes like a little mini game, right? Like to dodge the bullet on your skill use. It's like it's a fun little
Yeah.
Well, in that, I think in that vein, I don't think this fits well with Faith, in my opinion.
I mean, it
because of
doesn't,
what
but
a
who
thief-
cares?
Well,
I
no,
think it
but that's
challenges
when we talk about
people's
themes.
concepts.
Sure, I mean, it definitely does that. I think Thief players are going to be a bit like. I feel like Thief players' mains are like, what? Why? I want to know. I want to know a Thief main. If there are any Thief mains in watching this in the comments or in whatever stream, in whatever place you're watching this, or even in the live stream now, I'd really like to know if you are a main Thief. Do you like this? Do you like? Because I don't feel like many do, other than that surfboard ability, which is also sick. I'm not saying that I don't like the elite spec specifically itself. When I do think there are so many. It is what Boots said. It's fun. It looks just fun, and it's like, who cares? That is where I would just run around in open world and just be like using my surfboard, using the big elite script thing. I'll be pulling out those script as much as I possibly can because scripts are the best after dwarves. And that's pretty much where I'd play it. But
Can I share something?
Do it.
We have my very, very good friend Kip in chat,
Sure.
who my friend group, we've kind of like ordained Kip as like the thief main.
okay, there we go.
without Kip's input. But it was funny because when they released the trailers, my good friend Kip was like, "This is terrible. This is awful.
Yeah.
I hate this." And in respect to that, I don't think the trailer did any justice to this. But once the live stream rolled around, it was really funny because Kip goes, "You guys are gonna hate me, but I'm the most excited for Antiquary now." Actually,
Really?
So,
oh wow,
there
that's good
was-
to know though. That's good to know.
I think the live stream infused a bit more courage and a bit more, I don't know, understanding in people's minds to be like, okay, the trailer didn't do a good job at showcasing what we were getting ourselves into, but looking at the entire package, I know I feel even more confident in like giving this a try.
I feel like Thief, just like Ranger always wanted to have Gale Shot sort of as one of its archetypes to be able to play. Thief always wanted like an assassin, but they've always been like an assassin, so they never really needed a new. And this, I think this is fine. This is fine for a Thief to be. This is
I mean, what else was
It's
there?
more of a campy idea of a Tomb Raider, of someone who is like pilfering like artifacts and stuff, which is like I guess in a way you are a thief.
I literally wrote that in the document. I was like, Backfire feels like, you know, you're an Indiana Jones kind of character and you set off a trap.
I mean, to be fair, this is the first time the name Thief for the profession makes perfect sense. Before,
honestly, kind of.
I mean, Steel is, you know, their core.
Steel has always been in the
But
game.
that's what thieves do.
Steel, so like,
like a daredevil, like you're just like a ninja, kind of. You're not like thieving. A Spectre, you're just like channeling magic.
True.
This, you're actually thieving.
Well, no.
You are
Well,
not.
technically, you are not.
Oh, that's true. You're getting your.
The
Well,
You're
Script is
hiring.
thieving.
You're the ringleader. I don't know.
You're the Fagin.
You're a
Yeah.
ringleader of a
Core
band
Thief
of script thieves.
steals. It's still, it's a thief. Thief
No,
is
yeah,
a
core
thief.
thief does, but in terms of the elite specializations,
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
Fair,
Indiana
fair.
Jones meets Spaceballs,
I
something
think
like that.
it does
yeah.
feel a bit like that. Yeah, that's a
What
good
we really
description.
need though is some serious lore tying in for this. That we need like the guy who teaches us how to be an antiquary in a den somewhere, surrounded by Skrit doing his every bidding. we need that.
The script. I've paused one of the screens where they zoom in because I think this is something they really, really enjoy. Where you've got the big bubble thing, and I'm like, what is that? That script's holding. It looks like they're holding a big fish on this.
Looks like a fish, yeah.
does look fish like it is a chalk organ.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. That's the skill. It's the chalk
Interesting.
energy shield. I think when they pivot the camera, it looks more like an actual chalk abdomen or something.
That's so
But it does look
weird.
like a fish at this
How
angle.
is that an anti?
Chalk. Oh, Chuck, like the Chuck Iron, like the. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
okay.
kind of makes sense then. That kind of makes
Okay.
sense then.
Yeah. Yeah, let me.
It's still weird,
though.
Literally,
I'll
not
try
like
that.
not like sidewalk chalk.
I
Okay.
just
It is-
want a moment of appreciation though for the animations, including all of these scripts, like even on
Yeah.
the hammer flying really fast, like so, and then they're random too. Like sometimes they show up, sometimes they
RNG.
don't.
Mm.
But there's like a script flying on the end of the hammer.
Mhm.
Love the script backfiring on the like turret, I think
Oh,
it was.
yeah.
The
You
dog
see it
moving.
struggling for a minute and you're like, oh
Just
no,
looks
I gotta
into
go.
it. Yeah.
That really does show you how important the animations for these things are for the reveals.
Absolutely.
Because if they didn't have all of these fun little things about the antiquary in the reveal, and we just saw the skills and how, you know, you could use some of them, and some of them are bad for you, it would be a lot less fun. It would be a lot less interesting to
a
me.
part of their
Yeah.
original design philosophy, and I've heard this from multiple people at ArenaNet, for abilities was make them loud and pretty. That is, I mean, and we know that. But like, they don't always hit the mark.
And then that was
but
bad
it
for
makes
watching
sense.
PvP.
It was bad for playing the game, let alone anything else. Like, you're in a crowd
didn't-
of more than 5 people, you're kind of screwed.
And they
But
weren't
now
able
that
to nail
they've-
down effects sliders for people, I
Yeah.
guess.
You know when you've got
unfortunately.
that hologram script just dancing around, you get like a bunch
The
of
stripper.
thieves. Like you've just got these flipping things just waving about everywhere. That's gonna be nuts.
Wacky wailing inflatable script.
Another one
love
of
the
those
stripper.
Easter egg things where if you have enough thieves who whip that one out,
Oh my
Just amazing.
gosh, yes.
Jesus,
just a bunch
that
of
would be cool.
holograms.
Mhm.
It creates a huge script
A
just going down a
huge
pole.
one, like a Megazord, the Megazord
True, that
script.
one.
Money.
flipping-
Throwing money,
Yeah.
Canuck coins. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah, the coins coming up. That was a good one. I like that one.
The coin skill, visually I like, but efficacy wise, I don't know.
It's
Needs a little work.
gambling as well. It's
Yeah.
literal
But
gambling.
yeah, I like it. But just like the effect of it, I was like,
Oh, okay.
eh.
Stone Summit Cannon. Oh, what was that one about? Oh yeah, it's just he just brings out the bazooka thing, and then there's the the thingy fire where you can get possible damage to yourself, and then the mortar just blows up and the script just goes flying. It's so funny. Oh my god, it's hilarious. I didn't notice the script flying there. I think this is the thing with this class. I'm going to be too busy watching just the hilarity happen rather than just like thinking about what I'm actually doing and whether or not it's, you know, useful. Which I don't think, you know, you don't always necessarily need that in classes. It can just be fun to play and look at. It doesn't, this is a game after all. I mean, you know, heaven
Yeah,
forbid.
but that's another thing. Like, that's not true. They have to be useful. I feel elite specs need to be useful in
Obviously
some way.
useful in some
Yeah,
way.
the
I mean, there is
novelty
use,
will
right?
wear
but, like,
off eventually.
Yeah.
This is more, and I think this will probably be what happens.
I don't know
with
what
this,
this
in
will
my
be.
opinion. I mean,
It's
what
a
role
damage
does it
class.
feel? I mean,
It's a high
let's go
damage
through that.
class.
It's just
Damage,
it's
yeah.
I
specifically
think
high
in its
damage.
traits, let me pull it up.
Is it reliable,
and,
consistent high damage though? That's the thing,
Yes, particularly with there's a particular
Okay.
buff on the trait called Combat High,
right?
which is when you use your F1, you increase your outgoing strike and condition damage, and you lose stacks of Combat High every interval. The thing with this, though, is that it starts out at 30 seconds being the strongest, and as it ticks down in stacks, it gets weaker and weaker. So you're going to be more incentivized to use your F1 and start with a really strong like rotation to get a lot of damage out. And I think it's like 30% increased damage. It's 3% increased damage per stack, and I think you start with like, was it 30? I don't know how many. No. Oh yeah, it is 30% increased damage and condition damage. So they have put pretty high damage modifiers into a lot of these traits to incentivize your damage focus. Things that increase your artifact effectiveness by increasing their damage, applying conditions. You gain increased damage for a period of time after you will use an artifact. So this feels very much like a purity of purpose, very similar to the Gale Shot, where it's like just doing damage, just doing high, strong amounts of damage.
Cool. Okay. Engel or Fornex, any other thoughts you have about this one specifically?
It looks hilarious. It looks fun. I'm certainly going to try it. It's so eclectic, so weird, so quirky. I like the idea of it. I thought it was going to be more like the pirate roll the bones spec for the rogue in WoW, but I kind of guess they've gone a bit in that direction with some of the RNG, but they're certainly not as wacky in WoW as all this with the explodey script puppies. But yeah, I like it. It depends how squishy you are as to how much I would, because in PvE you can pretty much play whatever the fudge you want, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't, you're
That's true.
fine. So if this is fun and entertaining, and if you're here for just the PvE shenanigans, I can see this being a big hit with people who have kind of shied away from the more technical aspects of playing a thief, because it is quite focused and it is quite serious and all the rest of it, and this is fun and light. And I'm quite surprised. I'm certainly going to give it a try. I wasn't expecting to be interested in it, and I'm just wondering, more technically minded people, if you're in a group situation, if you're in a raid situation, could this be quite an overpowered build, because all the kind of mitigation that you get from like buff bitches and healers and that kind of thing, it could possibly overcome a lot of the kind of the coin flip aspects, and make it quite a powerful. So I could see this getting nerfed to fudge in
I honestly think for raid scenarios, I doubt that the devs considered the trade-offs of like the bombs hitting you as actual things that they have to design around for a trade-off. I think they just assume you're going to let the bomb hit you. So I think I think probably that's I think that's already wrapped into the balance for them.
Okay, that's baked into the cookie. Okay, fair enough. But it looks fun. Yeah, it looks fun.
Engel, did you want to add anything or?
Nope. It's right up my alley as far as like quirkiness, and I think that's like my biggest draw to Thief so far in the over a decade I've been playing this game has been this. So I'm excited to jump in, and I know a lot of other people who are like, oh, I'm gonna try Thief, I'm gonna try this like other class. So I think it's a good thing, and also happy to see because ANET's like quirkiness is fully coming out in this, their sense of humor, and I think that is a huge selling point of Guild Wars 2 that isn't utilized as often as it should be. So
true.
Will we see some Antiquary Cursed cosplays in the future?
It's possible. I have always wanted an Indiana Jones hat. I have an excuse now. So
hey.
I may have.
Jabra, I'd like to ask you.
Maybe
because you started out.
Well, I'm coming round now, so.
Yeah, because you started out being like, I think this is awful.
I mean, I don't think it fits. I think it fits Thief in an Indiana Jones way, but I think at the same time I'm a bit like, it just doesn't really feel very Thiefy, like in terms of the theme of it, but also it doesn't have to be, right? Like if I think about every single engineer spec, like that feels like an engineer, right? Pretty much all of them. If I think about most of the elite specializations, a lot of them fit their class, and I think there's the randomness, there's the gambling, there's the like all of that kind of stuff fits. I think when I look at it, it's
not edgy enough.
I don't know if it has to be edgy. I think I like the comedy aspect. I think that's fine. Like I love to laugh when I'm playing a game. Like I mean, like dwarfs are my favorite flipping racing Guild Wars 2, and like the script are just like, I love them so much. Like they're so great. They're like the elite ability is probably my favorite in all of the elite specializations. So like just because of the animation, right? Like so that is really cool. And when like I said, like seeing the script in the world and like them coming out and the little comedy aspects, I do really, really love that. I'm not saying I don't love the elite spec itself. I just, in terms of the game, and like I'm not sure, because I haven't looked at the traits, and this is going to be like, I need to play this to feel like, is it just going to be fun for a bit because there's stuff that looks cool, or is it actually going to be good? Right? How much of the novelty is going to wear off? Because I can easily get bored by stuff like that.
Do you not find like the risk of versus like reward choice that you have to make like exciting at all? Like, are you?
I'm not a big gambler.
That type of player or not?
I'm not like gambling as a whole is not really a big exciting thing for me, because I think it has like a lot of negative connotations to it for me for different reasons that I don't want to talk about. But like not personally, but maybe people. So I think sometimes I like to know a thing's gonna happen when I do the thing, and it might be something to do with my ADHD to a degree, and stuff like that. But then there's the other side of it, which is novelty for ADHD folks, which is like, whoa, this is cool because of this thing, and no one's ever done it. So I'm kind of cross. I'm like, all or nothing on this one. I think. Like, I mean, we're gonna really like it, or really just never touch it ever again.
I guess I do have. How often do you play a thief?
Not very often. It's not my like. It's
Okay.
probably my
Okay,
least
so
played
then-
class as well, which is again why it might not be. But like, I love
Yeah,
this.
there
But
you go,
this
it's
would
fun.
be a reason why, like, I may play it because actually before it was. Oh god, what's the elite spec called with the healer?
Spectre?
Yeah, Spectre was the one which I actually play Spectre. I run around on Spectre quite a bit. And have fun on that because I love the worlds and stuff and pouring around and the healing kind of single targetness of that. So that made me play Thief, I think, but I really haven't touched anything else on it. I'm not really a big Thief player because I'm crap at stealth. So maybe this would be a good thing for me to play the script with. And again, I really love everything about this. It's just the fact that it's on Thief. I'm a bit like, this kind of felt like it almost could have been almost an engineering thing because of all the script weapons that are used. And
so really, it's not that you don't like the spec. It's
You
that
want
you
to be on
I
engineer.
am
on engineer.
very happy with our elite specialization, and it is the best one for sure. I am not biased whatsoever. And we should definitely move on so we can get to it because we have still got more than half to go, and we've been talking for like an hour and a half. So yeah, are we
We're
good
just
with going
over
to the next?
halfway.
I appreciate
Go for
the
it.
deep dive into my personal opinions though, on this dev for sure. Let's see. Oh, good. Paragon could be pretty quick.
Paragon could have been an email.
Yeah, I think it could have been. I mean, my notes on Warrior the shortest? No, actually, Antiquary was pretty short as well. There is some. Okay, how do you even? Basically, the quote I got from them at the beginning of this is the idea of Paragon is a heavily supportive elite specialization, based around chance, and motivation as a resource. And how you build that motivation via your burst skills, right? And your utilities are commands. And they literally said they're similar to shouts. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't said that. But I think they're just trying to understand make players understand what it is. What I did like about this class was the echo specifically, like the echo part of it. I think is kind of cool, almost like the echo of the command, where you have an ability or something, an effect that pops up a few seconds after you've used the elite skill. I actually kind of like that to a degree. But yeah, I don't know.
So the way it works is you build up your adrenaline, and you need the adrenaline, I think, to use your chance. And the chance give you motivation, and then the
Which build up stacks
motivation
of
makes the
motivation.
chance stronger.
Is the motivation stacks of motivation, which go up to like 8 or 9? Is that what
I think
that's?
it's 10.
Is it 10? Okay, my bad.
Yeah. It's the unique UI next to the chance that will increase in stacks.
Yeah. So basically, it's still just adrenaline that you need to build, but you just want to press your chance as often as possible.
Yeah, I think the whole like interaction with the chance and the adrenaline and the motivation is a little weird because you need to use those abilities to generate more motivation, which you ideally want more of to proc stronger effects.
Yeah.
And then when you get into the trait, you're just even more focused on just spamming these out. It just is too much just mashing on the keyboard, button press.
It seems like it's just basically it's a support spec, obviously. Okay, so we're gonna start by saying that this is a support spec, elite spec that Warriors have wanted an elite spec that is support oriented for a while now, because that's like basically the one thing they're missing to round out the class as a whole.
Yeah.
And so the way it seems it plays is it's a slow build into becoming powerful eventually, but you need to keep rolling. It's gotta keep rolling. All the adrenaline has to keep on coming in. all the shouts have to keep on going out. Sorry, the chants have to keep on going out. And yeah, I think that's basically it. It's like a boulder rolling down a very not steep hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a very plateaued
It looks like
hill.
it gives offensive support as well, right? In terms of like might and
Yeah.
quickness,
Yeah.
which is cool, I guess. But it just looks very dull.
Visually, I think they could have done a bit
Just
more
looks
than
very
just
dull.
like big yellow golden bursts around you. If anything, I
Yeah.
love the spell circles that they have. I'd say get rid of like the bursty cloud smoke effects and just emphasize those unique
what is
spell
that?
circles. I think
Just
that might be like
weird.
the pulsing effect, but honestly,
Oh.
at a certain point, it's just like you don't even need it. Just have the spell circle like around you or something, because ideally, well, you only have one of these effects up at one time, because when you
Yeah.
use one and you go into the other, the one that you most recently used replaces the previous chant. So yeah, I don't know.
wait,
Visually, it could have been more interesting
So
too.
isn't the like Paragon like wings are a thing, right? Like wings are
Yeah,
a
that's
thing.
another
Yes.
thing. You only get that on the elite skill.
Why though? It seems so weird. Sorry, my voice moved.
It should be on the chance too. I want to see more wings.
I think it should just be like, imagine if you had this counter, right? The little whatever the fuck is. Sorry, whoops. Oh well. And you had like mini wings, and then your wings just got bigger. Like as this thing happened, and they kind of got to the same size as Guardian wings, and you're just walking around with it like I feel like something
Because
more
I
visual.
think that's a bad idea
Why?
for in the open world, because then you'll know which paragons aren't doing a good job. You'll be like, oh,
Like, hey, buddy, your wings are pretty small. We're
Yeah,
gonna
good.
you.
wing dysfunction.
Yeah, sorry.
Mhm.
It's all about the
You can
size.
you can go to the doctor for that kind of thing. Get a pill.
Nightmare.
Sorry.
But when
I don't
and then when it comes to, I don't know.
Wing
Yeah, there's just-
shaming. Sorry, you already got me.
that's what you come here for. It's just
That was
Hey.
good. That was good.
we gotta find the laughter in it all. Yeah, this one was the one that I'm like, it's needed. It feels like Warrior needs this type of spec. I would have just liked it to have been a little bit more dynamic, because it just every single new ability you get is just a circle around you. And I really dislike
Yeah.
Firebrand for that reason, where it's all very cone oriented. It's just there's no versatility, it feels like, in a lot of these.
That's a good point. Oh my god,
I do
it's
kind of
literally
like.
the same
I'll say
thing.
this.
Sorry.
I like the
Yeah.
echo mechanic on the utility skills. I
Yeah,
think
the
that's
echo's
kind of.
great.
I think that is
Yeah, I
the most
agree.
interesting part, because you have a
Mhm.
secondary effect that you can plan to proc, or you can also trigger it early by using your burst abilities.
Exactly,
Ah,
and
that's
it's
right.
very timing based. So I like very good paragons will be able to do very interesting things with it, and yeah, I think that's where the skill comes into the paragon probably.
Mm,
It's kind of sad because the original Paragon was very beautiful to watch when they were actually spellcasting. They would, as they're doing their chants, because it's like a holy exaltation. They kind of go up into the air. They throw their arms out. They do this even when they don't have the wings. They're continuously kind of like, it's almost like a ballerina. The motions of them, and then it's kind of sad that you just got a glowy circle at your feet. It's very somewhat mundane,
let's
guys,
see if I
for
can
an elite.
find videos of all paragons from the past and just kind of that's
Law wise though, law wise is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
yeah.
love to see
sure.
a Paragon return. And I guess to talk about another element that I like, aside from just the Paragon lore and also the echo effects, the elite skill offers a very unique buff. So this is what I was talking about with like Mesmer getting a unique buff in its elite skill. We see the same thing coming to Warrior, where it prevents your allies from going below 1 health. So it like completely it's almost like it classifications of things, but in a weird, it's like a invulnerable state. But I don't know if the game would like.
It's like what the Willbender got
correctly.
for a little bit
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, for it selfishly.
Yeah.
Because they bring them
So-
back. Paragons bring people back from the dead, right? Is that what they do? I can't
That's-
remember.
I think everyone kind of had a resurrection.
Yeah, they all
I
have
don't
the
know.
signet.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like
But-
the theme of a paragon, like generally as a thing, like not outside of Guild Wars, is the like paragons, like don't they bring people back into fights and to life to a degree? Like so they stop them. May have got that wrong.
We'll take your word for it.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah.
Just do
We'll
that.
take your word for it.
That's fine.
So I like the
Okay.
elite ability. That feels very elite when maybe other elite skills are just like, we'll just slap some damage on it and call it a day.
Skip to the elite because I'm bored already.
But also, no, especially what you were talking about, Boots, in terms of timing, is that the unique buff is only shared on the Echo. So you have to time it properly or utilize a burst ability to proc it faster.
Okay. On your
We will
Yep,
never yield.
I was just reading about that.
Wait,
I
what?
know exactly where you're going. The only thing I worry about with this is the diversity of builds. Wondering how that will work, because I do feel like they are fitting the niche that warriors want, but is that the only thing that Paragon will be able to be slotted into? Is there any
it
way?
does seem that way, and I mean, obviously, you're probably going to be able to use it
It'll
in
be a bruiser.
PvP world
It'll be
versus
a
world
bruiser
for different
side.
things. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
a
it
bruiser.
will be a support build in
Yeah, but
PvP. Another option instead of
that
like
does seem-
Elementalist or Guardian.
That does seem to be the issue, though. You're right, Engelbert. that seemed to be the issue in that all of these elite specs, I think, have a little bit of that, right? Like the Gale Shot is
I think so. Yeah.
power DPS. The as far as we know, I think so far that the Antiquary doesn't have quickness or alacrity on it, right?
No.
Yeah,
It's
so
damage.
it won't be able to do any of those roles. Yeah, I think they've decided that except for the warrior and the mesmer, I believe,
And
all
Luminary.
classes have what they already need niche wise for different types of builds you could give. So going forward, they could kind of do whatever they want and not need the trait lines to be 3 different types of builds.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They
okay.
could make it so that the trait lines do the same thing in different ways.
Yeah. It's more so about like changing the gameplay around all of the new tools rather than fulfilling a checkbox of certain roles.
Ender Dragons
and
was
then-
a bit like that with all of their traits, right? Like
Yes.
top is a
Yeah.
condition, middle
it's
is
true.
a supporty bruisery thing, and then bottom is a condition of power or whatever.
And we do see a little bit of that. I think even within the Paragon, there are traits that you can take to provide a bit more selfish DPS, but it just won't be as strong as, say, like going a Berserker build where it's all about the, selfish damage. So they haven't completely abandoned, the flexibility of Guild Wars 2's Buildcraft, but I do appreciate that these, at least for me, have a very solid, like, this is the essence of the Paragon. Let's just see how it fits into Warrior. And, how interestingly they do that. I don't know if it was the best this time around for me, but maybe
We'll see.
some things will change. Maybe some things will change around a little bit.
Should we?
The thing I worry most about this spec isn't necessarily that it'll be not pigeonholed. Pigeonholed.
Pigeonholed.
Yeah, not so much that it might be pigeonholed into what it's designed to do, but more that what it's designed to do won't be that fun to do.
I think that's essentially what we're all saying. Yeah.
But I think it has the possibility to be fun. I just don't know. Like right now, it looks like you're gonna need to generate a lot of adrenaline to make it good, and I don't know if it does that yet. Like it might play a lot slower than it needs to play to be fun.
This feels a little bit more like what I was worried about without having a weapon specifically for an elite specialization when you just literally pop off buttons on a tool belt skill and then just have utilities that are just meaning that like just don't have like great. It just doesn't feel like that's just what it is. It's just like there's buffs and boons on utilities, and it's the same with the F1 skills. And then I'm like, because that was my worry about not having a weapon for an elite specialization. And we were talking about kits, and it was like a lot of these classes seem to have had something like a kit or a magic that they kind of bring on, or a shroud or whatever. Whereas with warrior, it's the one class. Is it the one class? No, thief doesn't really have that. It's the one where I'm like, ugh. Maybe you could have had a paragon form where you did something and you just got bigger with wings or something. I don't know, which could have been cool. Like you could, like, you're fucking paragon, man. Like, come on, let's go, let's see. And in this, like, it's just these kind of little pulses which come out most of the time. I'm just like, sure, all right.
I just maybe they do something. Maybe they do something different with the motivation. Maybe the motivation is like an F5 where you build up motivation that you can eventually tap into, and then you just become the paragon form, and you have the wings around you for that
like
duration.
the wings building up and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. Like
it wouldn't have to be like just building up to. It's like there's a lot of. I don't know. There's just something weird about how you're chaining into so many different resources, but. It doesn't
feel
really
like you're building, right? Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're building towards something. It just feels like the build is a number in a little icon, which looks like it's just been slapped there.
But you mentioned, Boots, about it being slow. It's because also these chants all have cooldowns tied to them.
Yeah, which is a little odd. And they're long. Yeah. The two last ones are pretty long, the cooldowns, actually.
Yeah. The F2 only has like an 8-second cooldown, which is like okay, but even that, it's still like
pretty quick though. Like, I was just looking there. There's a lot of alacrity.
And the alacrity trait, I think, is the biggest sin out of this whole thing. It just because you provide alacrity when you change your chant. So it's not on the cast of the chant. It's not when the chant pulses. It's not when the chant naturally. I mean, I guess if it naturally ends, it'll give alacrity. But it's only when it will change over, transition into another one. So that essentially means we need to just blah, 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 blah,
right. But because there are cooldowns on the chants, you need to change the chants if you want to keep rolling
very quickly.
So it's I guess it's designed knowing that if you're actually playing like a raid build where you're going to want the alacrity, you're going to be wanting to be rolling all the time, which means you're going to be changing your chance. So it's like retroactive design, rather than a design, rather than designing it to like for a purpose going forward. It's retroactively saying, well, since you're going to have to be doing this anyway, we'll put it there.
Sure.
I think there could have been another way.
Absolutely. I do want to push us forward a little bit. And seeing as this one isn't massively
resonating with us.
Just a quick word maybe from the Fornax, the Crown Herald, to push us through to the next one. How do you feel about the Paragon?
Not a lot, to be honest. It's just
Perfect.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
there's a lot of
that's
hope.
good.
I like the Paragon. I like the lore. I think it could be great. I feel like they've dropped the ball on this one. It needs more work. Put it back in the oven. Yeah.
So far, the heavies are not thriving.
That's
both
very
Luminary
true.
and Paragon are kind of fighting an uphill battle. There is.
But it's not going to be the next one we're looking at, because it's going to be Ritualist.
I forgot about this one.
Wow, it's like one of the best ones, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's so good. Well, I think so. I think so. I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
I have some thoughts.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, Ritualist, which was also in Guild Wars 1. Is the next one and the final one for this stream. I said that basically mechanics are tied directly to spirits and Ritualist Shroud. You've got Rupture skills, which are F2 to F4, and you have the Shroud on F1. It is mostly based around power, DPS, and also healing support builds. And not only spirits are affected by Shroud abilities and whatnot, but it's also minions, which is very cool. and also buy some weapon skills. I think some of the skills on the utilities. But the shroud abilities. Now I'm not sure if I've got this around the right way. Shroud abilities bring up spirits.
No.
No.
Oh, the ability. Sorry. So when you go into shroud, the ones in the yeah. I thought you were talking about the Fs.
No.
Yeah, the ruptures.
Because like I think with thingy shroud in Path of Fire, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
And then you've got these splinter weapons and whatnot and utilities, and summoning and summoning. It almost feels like this could be like a minion Mancer-esque class. I feel like this is, right?
Yeah,
like
it is.
I mean, that's what kind of ritualist was, I suppose. So
Yeah.
thoughts, feelings, fears, dreams, wonders, nightmares.
I think one weird thing is that I like it. I like it.
Okay.
I like it. But
Is
I
it
think
weird that
one
you
weird
like it?
thing is that the utility skills are designed to work like with your allies and with your minions. But the only time you have your spirits is when you're in Shroud, which eliminates your utility skills so that they don't work. But I mean, you could put them up and then go into Shroud and then summon your minions and they'll get the abilities. But it's a shame that they don't work together.
So the spirits only exist while you're in the Shroud? Like they don't come, but there's no trait or anything. Because I didn't really look at the traits. There's no trait that keeps them up outside the Shroud.
Maybe there is. Kroof, is there something that I'm missing?
There is a Grandmaster trait called Lingering Spirits. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So there is a trait that you can take. It is a Grandmaster trait, which people might. It feels very Grandmaster, but I wish it was maybe like lower down so you could have more flexibility with stuff. But you do have an option to play more of that classic Spirit Summoner Ritualist build where you don't have to be in your Shroud to have them up necessarily.
Yeah, because I think baseline without that trait, it's very weird that it's disjointed that way. That your utility skills that are supposed to work well with your minions aren't there. they're just gone. But
so it feels like it limits the actual theme of the elite spec maybe a little bit, just because you have to use them in Shroud and then they're not really existing elsewhere.
How good are the other Grandmaster traits? Because I would definitely be taking that Grandmaster straight up.
Okay, so it probably is the most exciting Grandmaster, the Lingering Spirits one. The other two is Wielder's Boon, which means that your utility skills no longer affect allies at a reduced effectiveness. And then you have the other one, Soul Twisting, which is your first spirit skill when you enter Ritualist Shroud will instantly recharge, so you can spawn it twice.
Okay.
So that's like a burst damagey kind of build, I
more
burst.
burst.
So the lingering
I
is
like
more
all
for
three of those
support builds,
Grandmasters. I like all three of those Grandmasters, but perhaps I hope it would be better if that third Grandmaster was baseline.
I agree.
The Lingering Spirits,
100%.
Yeah, I think
or
that should be
at
baked
least
in.
for a duration. Maybe they can linger for like 5 seconds baseline, and then you take the trait to extend them based off of your life force pool.
Yeah.
Because the fact that they immediately go, also then, so you can summon these, but to expand upon the profession mechanic a little bit, you also get access to F2, F3, and F4 rupture skills. These will immediately proc when you leave Shroud, I believe. So they will immediately detonate your spirits, which doesn't give you an entirely detailed control over those. But I think if the spirits were lingering for a little bit longer, even baseline, you could then decide if you want to actually detonate them or not.
It's like it's a bit like a Mesmer shatter, but they don't go to the target.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Some of these have very strange radius effects. Some of them have locations that you have control over where they spawn. Others don't.
There is a utility though, right? Or is it? I'm not sure what ability, which one it is. But no, maybe it's the 5th skill where you can teleport and they come with you to a spot.
That's
which
fun.
You could do a big burst, so you could teleport. They all come with you, and then you use the ruptures. No, you can come out of shroud or whatever, or do a little bit best, then come out of the shroud.
Yeah. What
And
was
then they'll-
That's literally lifted from the first game.
Yeah,
That is
Spirit
that
Bomb.
Oh,
ability.
really? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Nice. Good. So
I do
there's a
like
lot of
that.
throwback to Guild Wars, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Sick. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the kind of general look of the class? Like, does it feel ritualist like? Do you like the spirits that you summon? Are the shroud looks
Well, they don't
good?
look like the spirits from
Well,
Guild Wars 1, but I don't think that matters. I think they look cool.
It looks well. It's very Guild Wars
Yeah.
2 ritualist.
Yes.
So the
Yeah,
ritualists
yeah.
that we fight in End of Dragons, they all summon these types of spirits. So it feels
Cool.
very in line with this game. It's
Good.
not
Okay.
necessarily the same of Guild Wars 1, but so many years have passed and the
Sure.
lore surrounding ritualists have changed.
Mm.
They're more so creating a morally and ethically correct bond with the spirits rather than like forcing them to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Hmm.
no longer in chains, so that's a plus.
They're
Yeah.
a little bit more liberal than right wing.
They've been liberated, yes.
Mm.
But just a point about like some umbrage that I take with like the support. So ritualists damage, of course, but also you have this angle of support and healing. It's strange that like the healing spirit you can't actually target where it goes. So, but it was really funny because like in the stream, they had like a minute conversation about like the importance and how interesting it is to have ranged support. But there's
Yeah.
literally no ranged support on this spec because everything is localized around you. Your spirits are
Right.
localized around you, and also your utility skills, which were supposed to be ally target, are all around you. So what they were talking about on the stream does not exist at all.
Wait, the
There's no
healing
element.
spirit isn't target. The third one is that not the healing
That's
one?
your CC. So your fourth one is
Oh.
spawned around you.
That's interesting.
Mm.
Maybe it's because are all the effects? Does all the effects happen around the healing thing though? The spirit. I mean, no, I agree. I think they should all be targeted.
The
Shouldn't they?
spirit will summon and will pulse healing around it. So if
Right.
you happen to be out of range of where your allies are,
Sure.
that spirit is useless. You can't like have the flexibility of targeting. The
Mm.
detonation also, you can't choose where you want those boons to land.
Yeah, that should probably be ground targeted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there many
I would agree.
healing skills in this for the utilities? Is there? What's
Yeah.
the rapture? Can you tell me like a little bit about that? About the healing, like the actual decent like healing abilities it has, if the touting is like a big healing spec as well.
So for your utilities, I don't comparatively, of course, it at least gives you a window to be more healing oriented. Its
Mm.
utility skills are weapon skills,
Mm.
and essentially you gain the stronger benefit, and you give a reduced amount of it to your allies around you.
Okay.
I think it'd be nice to also have this ally target as an option. I'm just saying. But your healing will be shared to allies around you. They will take reduced damage while they have that buff up. So
Mhm.
it's a defense while healing. You have Nightmare Weapon, which gives life steal to your allies. Pretty potent life steal,
Oh, so
might
it's
I
a
add.
life steal thing. Got it.
So when they attack, they heal themselves, and then they have Weapon of Warding, which grants them regeneration and grants them a buff, which acts as a block. It's not an Aegis, so it can't be corrupted. It can't be stripped. It will block about 2 or
These
3
weapons,
attacks.
these weapons you're talking about,
Hmm.
are those the utility skills?
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
the
that's
utility
what I
skills.
said.
The ones that get blocked out when you go and summon your.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to like your
Mm.
support element, you'll go in there, use your healing spirit,
And then come out.
probably like dip out of it. But it also, I see why it would. I think the spirits should last a little bit baseline
Yeah.
because
I mean,
Actually,
obviously, right
yeah.
now, since they don't, what you would do if you want to make them have that is actually, hold on a second. When you cast your weapon, is it a buff on you that extends around you, or is it a buff that when you press the button goes to your allies
Or
that are
just
currently
goes to
around you?
others, isn't
when it's around you in like a 300
it?
radius.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
But it
so
just
it's
pops it
on
off. It
you.
doesn't pulse.
It's a buff that is immediately provided to
Okay.
your ally.
That's immediately provided, so you can't give it to
Mhm.
your specters if to your spirits if you press it before and then go into your shroud.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can
you can
press
do
it
that.
afterwards if you're lingering spirits, maybe,
If you have lingering.
If you have
spirits.
lingering spirits, yeah.
which is what you would take if you're a healer. I would expect.
I think the spirits, if you go out of your
No,
shroud
if
baseline, should deplete your life force. and then you can use your detonation to stop them depleting, like a revenant resource.
Well,
Revenant energy.
I think
They can
that
upkeep.
I think you should have the spirits on F2 to F4, and I think Eruption should be on your shroud. That's what I think. I think you
That's
should.
an interesting way of doing it too.
I think that would work much better.
Although,
Because
when
then
you're in
you've got them
Shroud-
summoned like you've got, the Shroud for...
no, but then that's bad because Shroud is your second health bar, right? And the way that they're making it so... Because the spirits don't take damage. And with the way they're making it that the spirits aren't just this uninteractable thing that's doing damage to you all the time, is the way to get rid of them is to attack the Necro and take him out of Shroud, and then they disappear.
You're not really in Shroud doing much else other than just popping up the thingies and just pressing 1. You're not doing a lot. Your 5th skill is a huge cooldown. I mean, the 2, 3, and 4 is just summons. That's all they're doing. I mean, if they're gonna do that, then they need to. Then there needs to be like there should be an activate on each of the spirits to give them an extra ability. I think to make it more fun in that way.
I feel like,
or a lesser version of the weapons.
I feel like the issue here is that if they could do it the way you're saying, but if they do it the way you're saying, it becomes Scourge.
Well, I think it transfers over well then in that respect. But it's not. It's. I
There's
guess
similarities
in a way.
but I think with the mobility of maybe
different.
being able to move them around, to detonate them,
Yeah.
I think it would be a little bit
They're more isolated in spots where that effect happens in that area rather than it fires a projectile, right? I mean, because effectively, I guess.
Yeah.
Originally, what you would do is you would have your abilities. You would summon these spirits. There was like a selection of spirits that you could learn. You would summon them, and they would gradually, over time, be losing life all the time.
Just like
So-
the rest of minions, yeah.
Yeah. So what you could do is have it as a summons to summon them in, and then you have to go into Shroud to feed them your life force.
I like it.
okay.
So that would
That's
kind of
interesting.
fix the utility.
Why didn't
Yeah.
Fornax, you're cooking. You're cooking Fornax.
Why didn't they do that then? I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we haven't given them that feedback yet in the beta.
That's a big
Yeah.
change, though, isn't it? I don't know if that's a
No,
beta
it would be a
response thing.
I mean, it's a big like
It's like a
mechanical
mechanical
change,
change,
but it's
yeah.
not. I think the biggest thing is like you don't want to mess up the theme because that's art, that's sound, that's like going back to a drawing board. Mechanically speaking, we can have major shifts, but I think they are more adaptable. Those things can be changed in a balance patch. They can be played around with a few months, scrap it, go back to the original if they want to, and just kind of workshop as they
Maybe.
see fit.
But yeah, I mean, absolutely what Engel's saying. If there's anything you feel like could be different, don't just say this is shit. Don't do it.
Oh.
Like, just say like, oh, I feel like this could work really well if we did this, and in your post,
Yeah.
and be very kind and considerate, and use critical thinking rather than just being a critical C word. And like,
Yes. Dog shit is not as helpful
I
as you
love
might think.
alliteration. Oh, you might slip on it. And
yeah, Kroof doesn't care about people.
No, that wasn't me. That was someone I saw.
That's an
okay.
off-stream story, people. I'm not just being harsh to Kroof for no reason.
No, he has a very good reason.
I think that is a good reason, to be fair.
Wasn't my dog.
God, I'm such an asshole. Okay. Any thoughts? How about Engel? I feel like I keep asking you, and you've maybe had a thought, and I keep forgetting. Did you have a thought this time?
Just on the return of Miniomancer, I think that's going to bring some people who really like playing that way. And I was excited to see that here.
Yeah,
and
I mean, honestly,
yeah.
those weapon skills will work great with all the other minions that Necro has.
Right.
You still got to get the
Really,
minions
the
up there. that's the
splinter
thing.
weapon. The splinter weapon is going to be the biggest one because
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of them are. All the other shares are really supportive, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, the lifesteal and the splinter one are going to be good. Yeah.
That's true, because minions, I mean, except for in PvP and World versus World, minions don't take very much damage, so.
This
Not usually.
Engel, I want to give you a little bit more time than approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, 12 seconds is fine.
Was there so you're saying that it kind of bringing up that Minionmancer kind of gameplay again, but like with some spirits and intermixing and using your minions maybe a little bit more intentionally?
Yeah, like Boots was saying, you know, your weapon or utility skills there can like really boost up your minions if you're keeping them like relatively nearby you. I know that's only 300 range, but as I think it would have some good survivability if you're playing this in open world by yourself. You can kind of really boost your own team, so to speak. I think a lot of people just really miss it. So I was happy to see that you can use minions with your spirits here.
I can see this being played a lot in World v World, where you like summon. If you take the Grandmaster trait, you could summon your minions in, dive into the middle of the group, drag them in with you with that skill that revives them, and then burst and have a lot of like shattering stuff.
Porting kind of like with everyone who does that. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, do they follow you?
Well, with the skill 5, right?
Other than that, like, do they just follow you around?
A minor trait called Wandering Spirits, which whenever they auto attack, they will teleport to you. So they are able to move
every
around.
like 2 seconds.
Interesting. So there is kind of one other way to reposition them, but that does seem kind of weird. Get rid of that trait. Oh yeah, collision.
What did you say, Fortnite?
So.
Do they have collision?
I don't think so. I doubt it.
There isn't much in the game
not.
that has collision, right?
And a lot of their movement is like teleport based, so I don't think it would like.
And they're spirits as well. They're, you know, you can roll free spirits. Yeah.
That's one of the kind of the niche tricks that they used to do in the original game, because I played a Ritualist main. What you could do for the NPCs is to basically make a wall of them, and you could trap NPCs and
so
really
rude.
ruin their day.
Were characters in the game and players, was there collision in Guild Wars? I can't remember.
I know that there was collision on the spirits because I used that to kill Shira.
Why am I blanking on this? Is there collision on Guild Wars?
Yeah, I think there is actually.
Yeah.
I think there was. You get.
I'm still guided that there is.
You could brief the fuck out of people. I'm remembering now. Yes.
Yeah, World v World would be much more fun if collision existed. But, oh well.
But just to briefly touch on the topic of Engel's like minion master stuff, a lot of the not a lot, but a few of the traits do interact with general creature summoning stuff. So not even when you're summoning a spirit, also when you're summoning minions, you gain additional like healing and Kandi removal. You do like just packets of damage. So they really thought of a lot of not just Ritualist, but also core necro that I don't think they would have on other elite specializations.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
perfect tool for the loner. Build your own friends. It's amazing. Yes, more of that, please.
The elite. When you damage over time, percentage of your maximum health, heal for the difference. Oh, okay. This is what I really like. I think Kreef, you mentioned this before about the life siphoning part about how that is your healing for your allies. So rather than just pressing big button heal now or big button here's barrier, there is this siphoning of health using your skills so that your raid team or your PvP or whoever or you just survive. I actually really like that. I think that's very different.
This is an interesting elite. This is an interesting elite one. It makes me want to go toughness build, I guess.
I mean, this is more healing. This is very healy, bruisery, survival stuff, right? Yeah.
Maybe givers.
Yeah.
Breaks on.
We don't want this.
Okay. Should we shift on to the next batch?
Sure.
We generally like we're liking Ritualist. It sounds like we're liking it.
Like maybe a few kinks that could be.
Sure.
I'd say it's middle of the pack for me.
Yeah.
I think this final stream was the best.
I would agree.
Not just because I play engineer, but because I think Rev is a bit odd in places for me because of it feels like they kind of just threw a lot of stuff in there. It doesn't mean it's not fun and it doesn't look good and doesn't play good, but I think in terms of how it fits, they kind of weren't sure what to do. I'm thinking with Rev, they're in a bit of a spot with them. Doesn't mean the spec isn't fun and it's not good to look at, but anyway, let's move on to the first one. Evoker.
Is that the first one?
Yes.
No, Conduit.
It was Conduit. First
Conduit.
one.
Oh no,
on
wait.
Live stream.
Oh, sorry.
That's the
They showed
trailer.
the trailers for them first. Oh, wait, what? Oh, no, sorry. It's the trailer. Wow. Oh, wait, what? Oh, it's
You clicked on the
almost...
trailer video.
I clicked on the trailer video,
Oh my
which is
God.
below it. Ah, wow. Okay, there we go. First one is, as everyone said, Conduit, which is the Legend Raza, right? Legend Raza.
Yes.
They are, let me go down to this. Where is it? Okay. Okay.
Fun lore for
Yes.
Herald.
Yes. So there's a new F2 skill there, which is specific to each legend you have equipped, right? And you get a profession ability or a profession skill or whatever, depending on which legend you have, which is actually like, you know, on the screen right now. That was kind of lucky. Raza has got the Dervish profession. Cosmic Wisdom is the F2 skill name in general, right? And then it just changes depending on the legend, which classes, you know. And I think this is where there was a point where there's the purple, I think is Malix, and then they gave Mesmer to Malix because it's purple. And that was their reasoning. And I was like, you didn't need to say that, probably. Because I mean, that kind of, that was like a sticking point in my head where I just fixated on it. And I was like, what? What?
I mean, it's
Anyway.
fair. It's
Because
fair,
of
though.
color? Like,
Yeah.
because of color matches?
Condi oriented. It plays around with boons, I guess, and
but then they
corruption.
heal and do power damage too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
Alex.
see.
Alex?
Oh no, Mesmers.
Oh,
As in Mesmer
Oh.
profession to the legend.
yeah, Mesmers do everything.
Yeah.
I guess,
Mesmers
yeah.
Just do everything like all classes do. That's the thing. Anyway, aside from that,
I thought this was great.
yeah. Tell me why.
I thought it was very, very strong.
Yeah,
Reasons
so
why.
well in Nightfall. Yeah, I was a Dervish main, and so I'm very happy to get some form of Dervish back.
Yeah.
It's not fully back, but I got little scythe spins is all I need to keep me happy. So
I think that's all you're going to get then from Dervish, unfortunately.
yeah.
Which kind of sucks, but hey ho.
Yeah.
I thought that this was definitely more on the simplistic side,
Mm-hmm.
but
That's what
I
it says
thought
on the
it
tin,
was-
basically, kind of thing.
yeah, I
Mhm.
thought
I think it's
it's weird because like while it is simplistic and while there isn't a whole lot going on,
smart.
I've taken it very well. Like it is
I
smart.
think it's smart the way it works. So, unlike the other elite spec legends, which brought their own flavor to everything, did their own thing basically, this, with a very solid lore behind it, has the legend benefiting the style of other legends. So it's making the way you want to play because of another legend better. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, no other Revenant spec has done that. We had a slight element to that with the Herald with Glint,
Yeah, a little bit.
but all the other ones, I mean, even with the Herald, nothing as extensive as this, where your utility skills will slightly change depending on your partnered legend.
Mm.
So there is a little bit of more interest in the type of role you're taking and the legends that you're taking as well.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cooler if every utility skill changed depending on the other legend rather than just one for each.
True.
That's a lot of skills.
It would have been a lot of skills, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't change a lot. They just get ameliorated in a little bit, you know, like it's the same skill, it just gets a little buff to each one, right? So
They're just like firebrand tomes. Like they all have the same like layout, which is different effect.
Yeah, it's like elementalist signets, or not signets, glyphs, or stuff. Yeah, elementalist glyphs where depending on your element it does a different thing, but it's basically the same skill but does slightly different things. They could have done that for all the elites utility skills, but they chose one for each, which is fine. It's fine. It's good though.
I will say the new profession mechanic of Cosmic Wisdom, it's usually so incredibly passive, which will make it a lot easier for people to play Revenant because it is somewhat complex in terms of your energy management and just skill cooldowns and all that stuff. So it's simple. I think that there probably could have been an F3 tied to this where you get a like unique Cosmic Wisdom attack for that specific class, like a unique F3 ability for Monk, a unique F3 ability for Dervish. Just to
Dervish is an attack though, isn't it? Or is the scythe?
It's an attack, but like I think the passive element of the scythe spinning around you is a little too. It leaves me wanting for more. In terms of just another active element.
Is it just like a 3-second cooldown too?
20.
The passive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it only lasts baseline 3 or 4 seconds, and then for each pip of affinity, it increases it by only 1 second. So it's a fairly short passive
Is
boost.
the passive very visible? I guess.
What do you mean?
Like the passive effect of the F2. So are you saying there's a passive effect to the F2, or you just use it? I'm a little bit confused about where the passive's coming from.
The F2 gives you a buff. It increases your stats, and then it will do stuff depending on which one you're doing. So for the Dervish, every time you attack or so, it will spin a scythe. For the Monk, it will just heal you when you attack. So there are a lot of elements that you don't really have to think about. I think if you had another active button that you could use only when you're in Cosmic Wisdom, it could be a little bit more exciting. It could give you another tool to use.
Okay. So it doesn't feel like there's a lot to this elite spec, maybe?
Particularly because with Revenants, your legend dictates your utility skills, and
you don't have a choice.
Change them at all. So with it being so rigid in its structuring, I like the simplicity. I just think that there could have been one other active element to consider with this, because you don't have to worry about the variety of builds with Revenant. You just got to focus on like, okay, these are the legends. This is the profession mechanic.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's a lot to it, I think, is when I was watching this. I thought it was very cool because of the legend interaction with the utilities. Like, I really enjoyed that part of it. I think for me, there was a bit of like there's a very specific identity to each legend. And then Raza is kind of just like a bunch of classes. Rather than a legend, that it focus on the legend of this person. I don't know anything about Raza, to be fair.
That was the element of Raza that was unique. Yeah. Was Raza could flex into any profession.
So that okay. So and they would just So I guess it is then really thematic. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so I've just completely cancelled out everything
it's
I just
very strong on the lore. Like
it's very good. Like it's very linked.
Yes.
Okay.
It's very linked. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's suitable for like. I don't know if Raza for me was the right choice of a legend for an elite spec though.
It's the right choice if this was what they wanted to do to begin with.
I mean, sure, absolutely. But like, I mean, in terms of like, I don't know, like it's too. Everything.
I think
like,
from the lore aspect, it works.
Yeah.
I think that there is room for them to just add a little bell or another little whistle to make it a little bit more elite feeling.
Like it's just slightly underbaked, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like no, like the cake is baked. We just need a little frosting.
There's no
cake is baked.
It's like having just like a cheese and tomato pizza, but there's no tomatoes on it.
So,
Do you think-
what are the other elite specs we got for Revenant? We got Glint, which also has an F2 button. And then the extra thing it gets compared to Raza is that it gets flip over skills, I guess. That's the only thing, really. I guess you have more thought about the energy management because they're all drains. But that's about it. So this is, I mean, in terms of complexity, this is very similar to Glint, I would say. Right?
This is an all-roundery kind of. So what is the idea of this spec? Is it supposed to be kind of a bruisery, like, because you do healing, you do damage, and
it's my understanding is it's supposed to complement the 5 core legends. So it's
so it just enhances that legend specifically.
Raza, they're trying to say that he's a dervish, but he has the ability to be better at the other thing that you are trying to be as a legend. So like if you've got your centaur stance going on, he's a better healer. He adds a little extra healing to his, like if you swap to him, it's also an off healer, you know?
This feels a little bit like Paragony in terms of how whelming the utilities are, in terms of just like what they do. I'm just like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel very exciting, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong about, maybe the others are better. That is your healing skill though, I guess. Sorry, continue. I don't know if I interrupted.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of it, honestly. I liked the idea that if you wanted to be something, you wanted to be a tanky bruiser, you're going your dwarf stance.
The best stance.
Then yeah. Then when you pick your Raza stance, you don't have to be an assassin. You don't have to be a centaur as your off build. You're going into something that's gonna also complement your tanky dwarfy guy, because it changes based on what your other legend is. It doesn't change a lot, mind you.
Yeah.
Is the one thing. It only changes a little bit. But I like the idea. That's why I think all the utilities should change a little bit based on the other legend.
Did you happen to have a question, Angle? I think you were going to ask.
No, yeah. So, do you think this is their way of putting the other 3 Guild Wars 1 classes we don't now have into the game, and that they're not? I don't want to say they're not gonna like give us dervish, assassin, or monk in the future, because girl can dream. But do you think this is their way of giving us those callbacks, and then they're just gonna be like,
oh yeah, there's no more dervishes coming.
I don't think dervish is gonna be a thing.
I think that for the dervish, it's like just enough to kind of like appease the palate. But the monk one is the one that is the most strange, because it doesn't feel like monk at all. Yeah. It's a self-heal rather than like more of a supportive feature. So I think that the dervish one is maybe the most exciting in terms of a callback, but I would love to see an actual Revenant legend that is a dervish, that you get like the full shebang of stuff.
That would be cool. Now for lore discussion,
it's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay. Yeah, for lore.
Let's go to
tuning in at 9.
So rather is a in lore terms is a blank canvas, right? Which is why it affects why it's affected by others and their influence on them. That's the whole thing. It's like a human hybrid facsimile demonic entity, and it doesn't have like necessarily a personality of its own, so it takes on aspects of others. It's kind of it's like a teen. It's lost. It's trying to find itself, and that's. And it's clever that they've used it, because that allows them to have a very malleable, very flexible spec hero entity that they can summon in, that they can mold to whatever they want. But it does mean that it kind of lacks vision, it kind of lacks focus, it kind of lacks any kind of specificity.
Individuality.
Yeah.
I
So
think that's where I'm lost with this.
its strength is its weakness, if you know what I mean. So
I
that's-
get it.
If anything,
I get
this
it.
feels like more of a core Revenant elite specialization. Like this is something that would have been on core Revenant to really pad out the class back in Heart of Thorns.
You know what this is? This is the elite spec that's missing from Revenant when it first released. Because when
Yeah.
it first released, we didn't get an elite spec, obviously, because it was released with all the other elite specs.
We got Herald, I guess, but
Yeah. Yeah, never mind. You're right.
Yeah, we literally got that.
I mean, like, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but it wasn't like
You forget
I
that
feel
because
like
the class came in
Glint-
with that. So yeah.
Yeah, Glint could have been like a core legend, I guess.
Yeah, you know
And
what?
this
You
sort
know
of-
why I'm forgetting that Renegade exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
honestly, for me, Revenant is my least played
one of mine
class.
as well.
I've never clicked with it. It's always been a bit right of center for me. It's not like my go-to. I like the idea. I like the lore. I love the kind of idea of tapping into the mist, especially where we're going in the lore and how much more accessible the mist seem to be now, which is great from a narrative point of view.
Yeah.
And they have a cornucopia of characters and things that they could have brought in. But top of my list would not be this chap.
No, I think Rasmussen wasn't the best decision. Still kind of stand by that one.
I don't know. I like the idea behind it. It could be
it
a
is
little more
fun.
flashy, like you're saying, but
You could have
But I
picked a
feel
lot
like
of
it-
different people to put in the game. that
yeah,
they're-
yeah.
Like,
But
out of
the
anyone,
idea
like,
behind it that it's an elite spec where the new legend, just complements all the other legends.
I mean,
And
like,
there is a
imagine if you
slight
had like
theme.
the legend of Joko and you're flipping Joko, goddammit. Like, you know, you could have these wicked fucking characters in the game, and I'm just like,
yeah,
you know
but
what I
then
mean?
spoilers for new players.
yeah, but
Fair.
it's an elite spec in an expansion because you have to have the expansion for this.
Yeah, but you could see somebody else with Joko as their legend flying around the
Yeah,
screen and
but
be
they're
like,
not gonna
wait,
care.
why do you have Joko?
That would just be like, Joko's amazing. That's why.
I think there is also a subtle theme with this entire package of elite specializations where they're kind of like core class plussing them, where it's like Guardian 2.0, Revenant 2.0, where they're not trying to fully change them. They're really trying to support what the core class is kind of about.
Sure.
And I think in doing that, we might not always receive the most flashiest, mechanically interesting things. We'll get to Evoker, where it also is somewhat hyper focusing into specific elements of the core class.
Yeah.
What people tried to do when they first bought Guild Wars 2 and wanted to be an elementalist.
So I think that
Yeah.
the conduit follows maybe in those footsteps that we can maybe see throughout these elite specializations.
Sure.
Do you guys think that they're restraining the scope and penetration of these builds in order to make their job easier for balancing?
I mean, it helps.
It's not a con. I'll say that. But I do think that there is, like, whenever you add anything into Guild Wars 2, you have to consider the balance implications, and these are probably so much more so than weapons, which are just like static kits. There
Yeah.
are elements of customization and choice.
And I'm going to say that they probably didn't add weapons, not because partially because it's extra stuff to balance, yes, but probably also just because we were getting to a point where it's overwhelming how many weapons, for example, like a warrior has. Like adding one more weapon to their kit, it doesn't make sense.
I was kind of surprised. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I apologize. I was going to say I was kind of surprised that they didn't just like link it to an existing weapon. So if you marry this with this, then you get these. But it also works generically, like as a kind of they don't have to reinvent the wheel every time they do it, right? They could like
That's true.
There could be
That's not a
special
bad
synergies.
idea. I like that
Yeah.
idea.
Shall we move on to the next?
Jabro, it's your turn. It's your time.
My time's arrived. My favorite time.
Take us to the Holy Lands. Let us rejoice in the amalgam's ooby goopy light.
Tell you what.
I have a feeling I might be called
what.
out of here pretty soon too. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I tell you what. When I started watching this, now I wasn't sure when I saw the live stream because I was a bit like, the goopy stuff looks a little bit weird. Like, I'm not sure about the graphical feat part of this, but when they showed the live stream, I was very happy with everything. I don't think there's any part of this, and you might be able to persuade me otherwise, where I'm like, this isn't absolutely awesome and doesn't look like fun in any kind of slight way or shape or form, or even the reason why they've kept things the way they've kept them, i.e. tools belt skill 1 being still fixed according to your heal, because for engineer that's pretty bloody important, because most of the utility you get from the tool belt skill on a heal is pretty valuable, especially from like medkit, which was one of the examples they actually gave. Now you basically are bonding with this symbiote kind of ooze thing. I think they call it so many different things. But it's basically this ooze. I think people have referred to things like, I think it's more Venom-like than Terminator, because Terminator is just a robot and not combined with anything whatsoever. But it has that look of the Terminator kind of thing, T-1000, you know, in the second one, because it's got some abilities which kind of look very kind of similar, where like the spike, etc., etc.
How do you think it looks with the Juggernaut?
Oh shit, that's a
Probably
good
really
point.
good.
I don't know if it
really
would
good.
because the globs on the floor and your foot forward be literally the same color almost. It's pretty similar, isn't it? I think, because it's
And
that
you'll be able
silver
to,
metallic.
yeah. Now you could use the scrapper hammer with it too.
Quicksilver.
Thank you, Boots, for that. Oh my god, I might need to leave and come back. But in terms of like, it feels like it's part of you, right? It feels like it's connected to you, and you use it, and it creates these different abilities that you just didn't have access to. And I was talking about this in my video as well, how, you know, engineering isn't just about literal physical technology in terms of like cogs and computers and all of this kind of stuff. It's about things like vaccines, like engineering. That's engineering as well, right? So like chemicals, etc., etc. We haven't got this kind of mad scientist like using elixirs is kind of a little bit like that, but we're not using it really to do much else other than just drink them and an effect happens. But with this, you like combine yourself with this. It's like a Assyrian technology, I think they said it was. Yes, I'm going to gush about this elite spec.
Dream.
I think that is a very, very good word. But like, for example, like defensive you get these different protocols, and there's offensive ones and there's defensive ones, and you've got, what is it, 7? Yeah, 7 different tool belt skills to flip over. And this is the first time engineers had this. We've never had flip over. We've never had the ability to pick our tool belt skill, which is sick. It's so good.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of times when building with engineers, you sometimes pick your kits or whatever, not necessarily your utility skills, not necessarily for the utility skills themselves, but for the two belt skills. So it's like, So now you get to really curate what you're doing.
Really curate, because they literally said this in the stream. They were like, we want to give engineers a bit more choice, like, and not just be like, oh, you've got, you know, flipping out, what's it called? Slick shoes, just because you want the stun break on the tool belt, which is, you know, it was a big PvP thing a long time ago, for example. But these things give you, there's just a lot of fun abilities. Like the block is this like this just ooze, which just appears in front of you. It's sick. And you get to evolve as well. You get to evolve with this ooze and like empower some of your abilities and utilities. I'm trying to pull it back because I'm very, very excited about it. There are strains as well. So when you evolve using a tool belt skill, you can gain additional bonuses and effects, which is something we're seeing a lot with different kind of elite specializations. You know, buffing like with resonance or with performance, etc., etc. It's a little bit similar to that. There's an ability called Defensive Protocol Thorns, which is like a soft Retaliation. They were like, we're bringing Retaliation back. Yeah, which looks really, really fun. But yeah, I think mostly it's
and retail sharing.
Yeah.
No, I was very pleased with the amalgam. I'm not much of an engineer player. It is my least played profession, but their elite specializations always get me to try out the class, and this one is no different. I'm very much excited for the amalgam.
That's
I think
nice.
the visuals, the utility skills, the traits, they were all extremely well done.
Puddle mode looks really good.
The
I was
puddle.
gonna say
It's the
that's
best
kind of
ability.
sold me on
It looks
this class.
strong.
I
It
said that
looks so,
this was
like,
my
good.
this looks like one of my favorite abilities in the entire game. I was like, it's so unique in terms of how it works. Like, it looks like kind of the Shroud port ability in a way, because of the animation is the same when you spin up. But it's not a port, it's just you move around, but you move around under players as a flipping ooze. Like, what the fuck?
And you're doing damage.
So cool. It's poison
I
as
thought
well.
it was gonna
yeah.
just be like, I thought it was gonna be Weaver Earth Sword 2, where you just dig in the ground and that's it. But when they showed
Yeah.
off that you could move around as a puddle, I was like, all right,
Well, they
all
showed it
right, I
off on
gotta
the
play
Kind
trailer.
of
this.
poisonous one.
Yeah. In the trailer, they showed it as an evade. Just an evade in place.
Yeah.
They didn't show you anything else. That was a good trailer, you know. Because they really got you like, well, maybe it wasn't in terms of that one, but like, oh, because I was just like, oh, that's just an evade. Like, can't move. It doesn't do anything else. That makes me sad. But you can. Yeah. It is really, and honestly, even though there's a lot of abilities, I mean, kind of, I guess, it is just kind of like, again, that class of, it kind of does what it says on the tin. It's very bruisery melee oriented as well. Like, there's, you can't, the only range they have really is like, I think there's one, the kind of shuriken, I can't remember what it's called when you throw out the things.
The saws.
Yeah,
stuff.
they look so cool. That's really the only big ranged ability. I mean, I think that's why they've got rifle, but yeah, that pierce is cool as well. There's just, it's just really well themed. I think it's great, and I don't know if I have a lot more to say about it than I just love it. Like, it's just, it looks really simple as well. Like, in terms of,
Yeah.
I think you
the
just
simplicity is effective.
want to swing around that ginormous sword, though. Let's be
Yeah.
real,
oh my
Deborah.
god, did you see?
We all know.
They said they wanted it to be ridiculously huge. Like, they said that they told the
They
art
got
team
it.
to just make it massive, and I was like, yes.
They
that
made it
thing.
massive.
They did. There we go. There it is. It's huge, like comedically huge. But the thing is, like, those abilities get bigger depending on which class you're on. Yeah, I know you'd start laughing. So I'm wondering what this looks like on a Char or a Norn. So I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
might have to main my Norn again. Because on the Suras, that's going to be very disappointing. But sorry.
Oh, poor Sarah.
My main is Nasura. But there's a lot of Condi damage that comes out from a lot of these abilities as well. Like, you've got bleed, burning, and poison are the main three, I believe, and you can enhance your poison as well. In this through the traits, there is so much poison application from this spec.
Gosh,
it is
these
nuts.
traits too.
Yeah.
The traits.
So this-
I'm very excited to see amalgams provide both alacrity and quickness to groups.
Right.
At the
Which
same time.
I think so. There was a Reddit post. I think someone calculated it. Someone said that they theoretically could get
Really?
100% uptime for both boons.
Jeez.
Really? Holy
yeah.
crap. That's wild.
So, it does kind of break what we're used to in terms of
That's
that.
probably going to change.
Thesis.
If that's the
role,
case.
yeah.
But honestly,
I'd
at
rather
this
have
point,
it like that.
I'm
though.
kind of here for that, where one character
Yeah.
provides both of those things.
And it
but
not being just
more-
like a
or
become
specific
a-
support build. Or like,
pop
that
both boons into one. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they might try it out for a bit, but I think it might become an oppressive meta if everybody's like, okay, we need one of these guys and then don't have to do anything else. and then that's it. Then everybody's only going to
I
take one
think
of
that's
these guys.
good because then you don't have to have so many. Like you don't have to just have someone that just has to rotate around these abilities to make sure they got just
But then
quickness.
there's so
and
many classes that people enjoy playing that they won't be able to play
just
anymore.
a bot though.
You
I mean,
still
does
have
anyone
to
really
plot.
enjoy just giving Alacrity all the time?
So, but
Some people
also
do.
the idea of like, well, I do think that this does create a slight problem because it's now the only class that can do it,
Yeah.
which is like the whole reason that
Yeah.
they started to put all these effects onto other
True.
classes is
True.
because only a few of them could. I like the freedom that it does give groups if they want to do this. This is not a mandate. It just might be possibly the most like optimal.
I guess it
but-
opens up the ability of pure healers in a group.
Exactly. I think that's,
Yeah,
that's what
it would give healers more ability to lean into maybe some slight more damage or a little bit more utility with some of their choices.
Yeah.
Which I don't hate, but it is interesting that they would go this route.
It's something they can definitely just pull out, though, right? I mean, it's not a difficult thing for them to
Or
remove,
lean into it. Lean into it.
Make everybody able to do it.
I maybe this is like a small steps until they make it those 2 boons into 1 boon. They transform that boon into an effect that can't be, changed with concentration, and then they eventually just remove the effects.
Hmm.
I mean, it's
Who
it's the question: what do you privilege? Do you privilege an enjoyable gameplay experience, or do you have to account in every instance for what MMO communities will do with efficiency?
You kind of do.
Oh, a little bit of both.
Sucks.
Oh, but we suck. We suck at that. We will try and get the most effective way to do something, even as we drain
I
every
hate that.
ounce of joy out of it. So I kind of, it's hard,
have
right?
a more effective way of doing something that opens up more flexibility for others and maybe a bit more fun, rather than forcing players to have all of this
Boon bot. I don't want to be a boon bot. Fucking
where
hate
it's like
that.
you're not enjoying the gameplay. It's
hate that
not
gameplay
interesting
so
or
much.
fun.
Like
But
Chronomancer.
I digress.
Gross. Chronomancer was gross and disgusting. Ruined,
Beat
literally
around that bush.
ruined.
Don't show your feelings. Yeah.
Ruined the Pro League. Just one elite specialization ruined the whole Pro League. Anyway,
It's true.
it is
That
fucking
was pretty
true.
bad.
It
You're
was
not wrong.
Pretty awful, yeah. And they didn't fix it. And mate, that was one of the biggest, saddest moments of Guild Wars 2 history. Anyway, the thing I like about this as well is that you put out a lot of damage, but there's a nice healing mechanic in this with barrier. Whereas if you've got barrier, you heal quicker. But your heal is regenerative. So if you get some abilities which give you barrier, you can heal quicker as well, which is a nice little kind of like that. It's pretty cool. What else is there on this that I'm really enjoying? Yeah, because you get that from your F1 skill on the heal as well, so you can gain even more. And I think there's some traits as well which kind of bring that up a little bit more, which is cool. The barrier application is kind of nuts on this. Because you can get instant of up to, I think, more than half your health, which is kind of wild. But you do get magnetic aura as well, which is also very cool. What else is cool? I think it's just kind of, I'm just kind of like, it's simple.
It looks like it'll be fun to play. It'll be easy to kind of pick up and just start rolling around in the open world.
Absolutely. Like it just feels really simple and intuitive and easy to understand and thematic. And I'm trying to find there we go, the puddle. So good. Look
I
at
think
that.
it looks really unique as well. And maybe it's just its coloring, but like you have a very distinct look where sometimes I think there's a lot of reused, not necessarily, colors, animations, and things like that. So it's I actually was very attracted to like silver spikies, but I like shiny things. But I think that's a fun new flavor for any of these new classes.
Especially for an engineer, like being using a liquid, like an ooze, like that's really like.
Do you
feels
take
good.
damage in that form?
No, it's
I don't think
it's
so.
an evade for a quarter, 1.25 seconds.
Oh,
Okay.
So I can't remember how
Okay.
long the actual ability lasts for. The weird thing, the gaseous state is a bit weird. I'm kind of like, it looks like you kind of just farted and there's this gas cloud kind of following you. I don't enjoy that animation. I think that could be better or different, but other than that, like...
And it is at this moment we must say adieu to...
Adieu.
I believe so, yeah. Although I will tell you
dear.
that out of all the elite specs,
Sure.
probably the one that I want to get my hands on to start building with is the next one.
Oh wow!
Evoker!
So you have to
I'm
go,
with you.
and you've got Evoker.
I'm with
Oh,
you.
no
Can
way.
we have a slight pause so you can give us a couple sentences about your
Sure.
thoughts on Evoker?
Yeah, go for it.
The traits really make for some interesting ideas. It looks really fun. I think I'll say that the plain mechanic of it, the little summon guy that shoots something every once in a while, and it's not that great. Honestly, it's not. I love the look of them. They're cute. They're fun. The way the mechanic actually works doesn't seem so good unless they're gonna like supercharge the amount of energy it gets, so you could use it like all the time. But once you get to the traits, it really starts to pick up steam. It really, yeah.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Boots, thank you for your insight. And we will see you soon.
I'll carry on the torch, I'm having a stroke. Just go.
Please don't
I'll
have a
just
stroke.
I'll just turn off my camera and mute, right?
You can just leave the call because honestly,
Yeah.
it just messes up everything anyway. Because you end up DCing
okay.
anyway. So I'm
It
gonna.
kicks you after
If I'm
30
gonna
minutes or
fix
something.
everything, I might as well just fix it now.
Okay, bye guys.
It's all good.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so oh dear, this is gonna be slightly frustrating. Okay.
Oh, we're all so big in my Discord window now. Oh my gosh.
I have to change everything. It's not too bad.
Okay.
So, is there any more? Any? How about you, Phoenix? How do you feel about engineer? What do you like? A look at this?
I was deeply meh when I saw the kind of the introduction video, and I feel like they need to redo that. If people's first introduction to that is like that's not it. And I actually think that they would benefit from like doing, now that they've had all the reveals, doing like a proper promotional video for these elite specs, because people are going to be buying the expansion based on them. And it's one thing to have this fantastic live stream that goes through all these things. That's great. For us hardcore players, that's going to be, that's our jam. But if you're trying to sell this as a product, you need to show some thigh, and they need to do a much fuller, much more exciting, sexy version of the little intros that they do. So that would be my advice. Yeah.
A good gameplay trailer where they carve out a minute or a little bit more than a minute where they can show off these specs in more of a glorious moment.
Absolutely. Again, I feel like it's almost like the script mage. The idea of it was just, but looking at the gameplay, it's something that I might actually try. It's got such a unique, weird element that it would make me jump into one of the least played characters on my account.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that the execution is better than the concept seemed to imply. So thumbs up for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot wait till the beta. So excited for this beta. Like, I said that this is the best elite spec outside of Scrapper for engineer that I've really been looking forward to. I think for me, I'm pretty pumped about this. Okay, as my cat stares, we are going to go over to the last one, unless anyone has any more thoughts about that. I actually don't have any others. I mean, I think I went through all the traits and everything else. And I was just like, it just kind of makes sense. There's a lot of options. It looks like a lot of fun. It just, I'm excited for it. As an engineer main, hype. If you want to see more of my thoughts on it, there's a 45-minute video on my YouTube where I gush about everything because I'm watching it as a first reaction thing, and it's like, oh my good lord. Okay, so I think with Evoker personally, as I was starting to watch the stream and we saw these little familiars, that's what they're called, pop up and their abilities, I was very underwhelmed. But then as things moved on and I saw these bigger versions of their abilities and the utilities and whatnot, I was like, oh, this is actually maybe one of my favorites now. Like, it just, like, I just really like the otter animation. I feel like that was like a big thing for me. I was like, that otter animation is sick. But I've got some little notes that I'm just going to read out. So F5, basically, you are going to be able to pick an element which you specialize into, and the different elements are represented by a different familiar. So you've got Fox is fire, Otter is water, Hare is air, and Toad is earth, the air hare, the hare air. So you pick an element, and traits and utilities that care about your specialized element as well. That attunement specifically, I believe, I can't remember, is it weapon cooldowns that are lowered, or is it the cooldown switch between each to that element is reduced? I can't remember. Putting that down wrong.
It's the cooldown for the attunement.
Right.
So
okay.
getting into the attunement, I think it's
Cool.
like a 1.5 second cooldown. So you can essentially tap into it whenever you need.
That's pretty bloody awesome. What else is there? Yeah, there's these two different kinds of charges as well. There's basic charge, and then there's this empowered charge, and I think they show off some of the different abilities that these familiars kind of pull out, like, you know, there's healing with the otter, for example, and then there's, you know, damage with the fox, etc, etc. And then there's the empowered skill, which is a fire, like Firefox has this ability called conflagration.
Conflagration.
And then the actual familiar comes into the world and does something, which is a little bit more impressive, I think, than the basic ability, which feels a bit weird. And then they've got meditations as utilities, and the elite is pretty cool. I'll show it off, but yeah. it looks so good when it happens.
I think in general,
Wicked.
the Evoker is pretty. I love, okay, once again, the overarching theme of simplicity. I love the fact that you are specializing into an attunement. I think that is something that hasn't been explored yet, and a lot of people have been wanting it. And I'll agree with a lot of what I've seen online, and especially in this chat as well. And what Boots had mentioned, I think the familiar itself is not as interesting as like a passive entity. I know why that they don't have it acting as a pet is because you can't target it to kill it. It's this thing that is always there. But with that being said, I think it would be cool to see it like aid you in combat by doing an attack maybe every 2 weapon skills that you use, just something a little bit more consistent.
Doesn't it do that though?
It's
when it hits the basic
like a weak
charge,
attack.
when it does the basic skill charges, I think
a skill that you use yourself. I'm talking something more like whenever you are just in combat, every 2
I
hits
thought
or
it
every
it
2.
does a weak attack every 6 weapon skills.
Yeah, it does
That's
that.
something that you have to proc.
Oh, okay.
Do
Sorry,
you
I missed
proc that? The 6 basics?
Yeah, you have to hit your F5 because some of them are target. The Hare Air one is a ground target ability that you have to mark.
Got it.
So as it functions, if you know anything like 14, it's very similar to a carbuncle where it's not actually doing anything on its own. It only ever responds to your commands. And I think that passive element of it makes it a little less interesting because sometimes it'll just be like
It's just
floating
kind
there.
of hanging out, yeah. It doesn't feel very
So
active. Yeah, I see what you
if
mean.
it was just doing something, I think that would add a little extra, interest. And I also think it's maybe a little unfortunate that it doesn't really visually seem to do anything when you're activating like utility skills, especially the utility skills that it's connected to. But yeah, I think like
Maybe when you get a charge, like something, like even if it just did something, like, or even if there was an animation that
Yeah.
complemented it in some way,
like
maybe.
it does an attack when it gets like halfway to its basic charge,
Sure.
or something.
I
Because
actually thought it worked the same way
yeah.
as Engel thought as well. That's why I missed that.
So it's something you will always
Yeah.
have to be pressing to eventually get to your
Mm.
empowered skill. And I do like the idea that you have a command ability for it, and I like that it powers up over time.
Mhm.
But I think it's just a little too. It's missing that other element that would kind of loop it into like a pet, that I think would feel good with this.
Yeah, I think didn't they say something about it about a pet, like making sure it was defined as not a pet, but it almost just feels like they've just said it's not a pet. So
It's not a
What
pet,
is it?
and it doesn't do anything because it's not killable.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I understand that, but just like a little something.
Does
a
it
little
do
something.
anything? Because I think you get more charges if you're using your 4th or 5th skill, right? Or something like that. I can't remember. Or is that
You
differently?
gain more charges when you use your specialized attunement skills.
Okay, right. I thought there was something about the 4th and 5th skill though, because I remember
That's on
them.
warrior.
I was sure because I thought they were talking about air. They were talking about like. Sure, they were talking about something like that. Maybe it was warrior. Okay. Anyway, okay. So, yeah, I think my brain is dying because this is like the 9th one. Like,
But then
3 hours.
we do have the utility skills, which are the
We do.
meditations.
We do.
These
Thank you.
are kind of bare bones. They even mentioned on the stream that they're not happy with these in regards to their specialized effects. As it is right now, the ability that you are specialized into and that associated utility skill, it'll just provide a stun break, which in all honesty is really boring. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like it's like hearkening to this one you're specialized in.
Mhm.
So I think that the utility skills themselves need a little bit more work in that regard. But I do like the elite. I think it's really cool that you get to see all of
That's
them
good.
be summoned for like a big effect.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of fun. See if we got the 5th. See if we got the utilities on here on the video somewhere. We talked about elementals a lot as well.
And even like when you're using the other attunement utility skills,
Mm.
like the familiar that you don't have, maybe you conjuring that spirit would add another element of
Just for that.
visual interest for that
Yeah.
utility skill, just so it reads a little bit better and you feel like you're always connecting to these spirits.
It might be because if you're using that utility, maybe they feel like people are going to get confused because if you're using that utility, it works better because depending on the spirit you've got, the familiar you've got, right? Because with a familiar,
yes.
the utility is stronger, right? So if you've got another
Yeah.
one
Yes.
there, like maybe they feel like people will be confused. or
Well,
something
it's
if
not
there's another one.
it's not stronger. You get a stun break.
Oh, it's just
it's
a
like-
stun
For now.
break? Is
Yeah,
that it?
just for
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
For
wow.
now.
Okay, yeah, they definitely need to change that. It should be.
Yeah.
It
It should
way
be
better.
stronger, but it's
It
just a
should be
stun break.
added effect, like it should be added healing or
Just
added
something like-
burning or added like something.
Right.
Cool. Like I kind of conceptualized a few ideas, but like the fox becomes more of an active element in that utility skill. The otter becomes more of an active player rather than just you have a spell effect conjure wherever it might be.
Yeah, that's definitely. It sounds like it's still kind of in the pipeline. That one.
Yeah.
That you were saying. Okay.
But it's really Boots talked about this. The traits themselves are where this specialization really starts to shine
Mhm.
because all of the minor and the master traits are good. They give you a little bit of extra flexibility with other spirits that you might not equip.
Mhm.
And the Grandmasters are really, really cool. If you want more of a passive playstyle, you can take a really strong passive stat bonus.
Yeah.
And if you want to be that boon provider, you actually have flexibility. You can provide alacrity as you're specialized in water, or you can provide quickness if you're specialized in air.
Oh right. Okay.
So you don't have to be like, well, I want to play healer, but we need, they need alacrity and I can't do that. But they're like, no,
Mm.
you are able to, so you don't have to like sacrifice that necessarily.
That's nice.
But the standout out of this entire experience is really those what's it called? I think like element like
The
singular.
empowered versions of the.
Hold on.
It's
Evoker.
what is it?
Specialized elements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This means you can only attune to one element, which is fantastic.
Wait,
It's
what's
very,
that?
very bold.
The trait. The trait.
Yes, the
Yeah, the
Grandmaster
Grandmaster trait.
Specialized elements. It means that so if you have a familiar that is the fire one,
Mhm.
that means your F1, F2, F3, and F4 are all fire attunements, meaning that you cannot change those spells. You will always have access to
Oh,
those
I didn't see
abilities.
that. What?
How did you not see that, Jeffrey?
Because I was
The most important part.
I did this at like 2 a.m. and I haven't had time to watch.
The way
I
that
saw,
you were like silent when I was talking about that, I was like, something tells me he doesn't know what I'm talking about.
No, I didn't know that. I'm
was
not
the
gonna.
last
I mean, I
one they
could have just
showed off.
lied. I just said, yeah, that's great. That was really cool.
So they have
Nice.
complete set of whatever attunement your familiar is. I think this is such a cool idea. They even mentioned on stream that they don't think that this trait is strong enough because you do lose quite a bit when doing this.
Mm.
I personally think that a one way to kind of just pat it
Weapon
out
swap.
would be weapon swap.
Oh, right,
allow
cool.
elementals
Good. Okay.
to swap their weapons because you lose out on 15 other abilities that are damage, but also a sentiment of utility that you need to like defend yourself or, you know, deflect projectiles, whatever it might be. If you're able to weapon swap, you might have a little bit extra to your kit, so you can actually like not be completely bored out of your mind playing it.
Why don't they reduce
like,
the?
try to
Why don't they just
answer,
reduce the cooldowns and weapon skills then?
They do. So whenever you use
Okay.
your empowered familiar ability,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
cut all of your cooldowns by 10
That's
seconds.
Right. That's right.
So it's
Okay.
essentially Elementalist has pretty low skill cooldowns. It's essentially like
Yeah.
a free use out of all of your abilities again.
So maybe that
I
would.
think weapon swap would maybe be a little bit more interesting, and then lower that 10 seconds down to like 3 or 4 seconds
Sure.
to compensate.
Mm.
But
Yeah, I think your weapon swap would be great. Like if you focused into water, you could go staff, and then you could also use the other because
staff and
there's
spear.
yeah, like you could use spear, or you could just use what is it, the other stuff like focus and something else that was really useful.
Yeah.
They give more healing as well. Like you could really focus in on being more of a like fire mage or a water mage, right? Like sick. Okay, I really like this now as well. I didn't realize that. I thought like the specializing. Yeah. Okay, that's really cool. I want to
See,
be.
it
I
is-
want to
it's
be a
pretty
water
good.
mage. I want to be a water mage. That's what I want to do.
Honestly, my one criticism is that this is a Grandmaster trait. I kind of wish it was like that Middle Master trait so that you could play like a specialized Alack heal or a specialized
Mm,
power quickness. Just because it's such a cool idea that I don't want to
Yeah.
also have to like sacrifice a necessary element to my role in doing this.
yeah.
I think this should, while it is very Grandmaster, it's such an important thing for like a theme. I think in the Master tier it would give more flexibility.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Mm.
Yeah. It's one of
I'm
my
Is
favorite
anybody
episodes.
feeling the Toad Mage? Because that's actually I haven't heard
Ooh.
anybody, but that was like my first thought. Like
Being
look
a toad
badass.
Earth
I
mage.
love the
Ah.
Toad. The Toad is
Toad's
my
cool.
favorite is probably the Otter, but my second favorite is probably the Toad.
Mm,
yeah.
I love the Toad so much. And I think it's gonna be really cool. It's nice to see like more of a bruisery, stunning. You create a ring of warding on its empowered skill with
It's
a
all
bunch
about
of earth
protection
spikes.
as well, I guess, and maybe bleeding.
Yeah.
Also-
Protection, bleeding, crowd control, barrier access
Mm.
if you can successfully disable enemies.
Yeah.
Naruto
yeah.
stage. Yeah.
Damn. When is this player? I'm just like, oh, we talked about this. It's in a week.
10
10
days. 10
In 10
days.
days.
All right, it's in a week and a bit. Okay, cool. Damn, this is going to be epic. Oh my god. Oh damn, I'm slightly. I mean, like Fornex, what do you think?
I love it thematically.
I
I
love
love the
it.
visuals. No, I love it thematically.
Oh yeah,
Midge,
I love it. Yeah.
the Elementalist. It's my first character. The first character I ever made.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I fell in love with the visuals. It is visually a stunning class to play. It is not the tankiest, and I spent a great deal of my game dead. But you know, there are trade-offs, and death isn't the drawback it used to be. So I will definitely be trying this. I will definitely be giving it a go. I would like to see more characterization of the little summoned spirits, especially in their idle states. I feel like they are just a bit floppy thingies hanging around your head. That would, but no, I'm totally going to give this a go. Not being a person who's deeply into build crafting, I will be relying on brighter minds than mine, but it does sound fun. The like honing down into a single element sounds fascinating because they're so unique. I in World of Warcraft, my favorite build to play is a frost mage. I like that control.
Yeah,
I like that slowing. I like that. So that kind of controlled damage, or even like properly like healing, is just amazing. So yeah, I am gonna play with this and have fun with it. Again, there's like 3 different builds that on the outset I felt like I wouldn't have any interest in them, and then actually going into seeing the different things, seeing the gameplay has really kind of piqued my interest, and I'm looking forward more than I have for quite some time to actually just play my character, not play the story, not do the exploration, but actually like play my character just for the fun of experiencing that pure gameplay.
Nice. Love that. And obviously there's the Spirits of the Wild, I guess, as well. The whole like
Yes.
I get sounds like Engel, you've got a word to say.
Oh, just I love Norn. That's basically the only characters I've played because I'm short and I like being a tall mommy in the game. Anyway,
there we go.
Yes.
There they are. There they are. We got them now.
yes. Spirits of the Wild was really cool. I'm glad to see them being utilized more, and we get some Easter eggs. But other than that, it's I don't know. I'm just happy to see it in the Norn callbacks on this. So I've made my Norn Elementalist. She's coming for you all. Just saying.
Yeah. I've started making my Asura different classes now. My flipping Mesmer and stuff. I'm like, I want to have an Asura Mesmer. Yes, this is going to be necessary. I actually have a Norn. I have a tall Norn lady Elementalist. She's on her way.
We have to end the stream soon because my left bum cheek is just gone.
It's okay, we've gone up to we are at 3 hours now, so 3 and a bit hours. So we are gonna pretty much end things. I'm just trying to see if I can find the elite ability very quickly. I need to like relax.
Can I just say, I love your glasses. I'm getting like Murder, She Wrote, Angela Lansbury vibes. They are just glorious.
Who is
Just
yours?
so you know.
You might have you're all wearing
everyone else is
glasses.
wearing glasses.
I was like,
It's at the end of perching. It's the perching that's doing it for me. I'm getting this profile of the perch glasses on the end of your nose.
Proof.
You,
me?
It's amazing.
yeah.
Proof doesn't actually
No, I
need
gotta-
glasses, do you?
I don't need glasses. I don't. See, I got a lot
Just
of prime real estate
vibe.
here, so like I can just change
so
the, we can just change where it sits.
Love
Very,
it.
I feel like very
Forlex isn't impressed now.
Devil Wears Prada, very like Miranda Priestley, like cerulean, you know.
Cerulean. That's the best quote from that movie. Yeah.
Well, as
It's not blue, it's cerulean. Where you just picked out a pile of stuff. I don't know the monologue very well, but
Oh dang! Homework for next time. That's
Yeah,
how I
that's
want you to
fair.
start this. The
just a full monologue.
Podcast,
The
yeah.
cerulean scarf, yeah, whatever.
Yep. Sweater.
Sweater.
Yes.
It is a sweater. I was like, cardigan. It's been a while since I've seen that film.
We'll probably have unless there's any major news this coming week, we'll probably have a break and then we'll do a stream where we play the Elite Specs and have some thoughts as we do that.
Oh yes.
Which we normally do. We normally just sit and play and we kind of do a dungeon and play around with the Elite Specs and just talk about each one and whatnot.
We could do a raid.
Could do a raid. A little bit less, like, always bashing on with and killing things, but we could do that as well.
Like a strike mission.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strike mission would be good.
Yeah, we won't do a raid. We'll do a strike.
Yeah. There's a little bit more, stopping and starting with that one, but you can do strikes, yeah. And yeah, other than that, please like, follow, subscribe if you're on YouTube, the podcast. Follow the podcast on whatever service you're listening or watching this on, like Spotify, etc. Or Apple. If you can give us a little bit of a thumbs up and a mini review if you enjoyed it, that would be massively appreciated. Otherwise, twitch.tv/JebroUni on a Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 7 p.m. GMT every other weekish, depending on whether or not there's a ton of news, which is kind of coming out at the moment. So keep an eye on all the socials and all the things. That is in the description below, as well as links to all of these lovely folks if you do want to buy the expansion. Everyone who's on the show today has a link, an affiliate link below where you can purchase the expansion through their link. They're all ArenaNet partners and they get a little bit of a kickback from it, which is lovely and wonderful. Thank you, ArenaNet, for sponsoring every one of your creators for that as well. Otherwise, do a quick little outro for everyone. Fornax, tell us what you do, where you do it.
So I'm Fornax. My channel is The Crichton Herald, and over there I do on YouTube I do videos, I do guides, I do that kind of thing. Please do check it out and check me out on Blue Sky. It's Fornax the Herald over on Blue Sky. And thank you for having me on the podcast again. It's lovely to see all your wonderful faces and chat with you about things that are not incredibly depressing, which is rare and beautiful in this day and age. So yes, thank you so much. And, oh my god!
If you want.
Yeah. No.
You could just have an entire stream on Luminary, maybe.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared at all.
That was
Too
deep.
sensitive.
That was deep. I'm sorry. Please go and follow Fornax, the Crichton Herald, on all the things. Engelbert Meow, please tell us what you do, where you do it, and all the things.
Yes, I stream over my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/EngelbertMeow. I also post a lot on TikTok and Blue Sky. I like to beetle race, and I also have a series on my channel called Cursed Cosplays, where I cosplay people, places, and things from around Guild Wars 2 universe. Most recently, I was the Visions of Engelbert /Eternity logo. To kind of give you an idea of the randomness of that. And I do it all for charity. So if you're interested, come check it out. Finger guns.
Even better. Great stuff. Is it Extra Life for Kids, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Lovely. Awesome. Go and check them out. Description below. They have the link and whatnot as well. And also, last but not least, Kroof. Tell us what you do.
Hi, everyone.
What you do.
Lovely to be here. Always love talking about elite specializations. If you'd like to catch more of my stuff, you can go over to my YouTube channel where I talk about Guild Wars 2, guides, reviews, general news, and I'll stream here on Twitch Fridays and the weekends playing Guild Wars 2, other MMOs. Yeah. You see how I just held on to that? Now that
was good.
Power.
That was power. That was
Definitely.
emphasis. That was.
We were all hanging on your words there.
Exactly. You react when I say you can.
Damn. And on that note, we're effing off. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. See you soon. Take care. Enjoy the beta as well, which is coming up very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of the Festival of Four Winds as well. Always lots of fun skins and stuff to grab from that. And we'll see you very soon on Lightbringers Podcast. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Have a good one. Be kind to each other and have a nice chicken sandwich. Bye.
Oh, I'm gonna make a tuna sandwich.
Yummy.